what they're missing. Pressure, too, will be on New England rookie QB Mac Jones, points out Pro Football Hall of Famer Tony Dungy.
Everybody's going to look at this and say, well, gosh, we could have Tom Brady. And if we had Tom, what would our team look like now? We'd be a Super Bowl team. Look how well he's playing. And this is the guy they picked to replace him. And look what he's doing. So there's going to be pressure on him to outplay Tom, and he's got to just stay in his own shoes and say, you know what, I'm not Tom Brady. I've got to do my job with my team.
Tony Dungy on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. College football, Georgia quarterback J.T. Daniels has a lat muscle injury. He is expected, though, to play when the second-ranked Bulldogs take on number 8 Arkansas on Saturday. NBA announcing players who don't follow local vaccination mandates won't be paid for missed games this season. New York and San Francisco currently have vaccine requirements impacting the Nets, Knicks, and Warriors. The mandate only affects home teams, not unvaccinated players on visiting teams.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, we're on the eve of a game day. Not here in Jacksonville and Cincinnati instead, but no doubt Thursday Night Football, everybody will have their eyes on. Tomorrow night, Joe Burrow against Trevor Lawrence. And Burrow, obviously, off to a decent start in his career, derailed by an injury. But he's off to a pretty good start this 2021 season coming off the injury, and I think that's pretty impressive in itself. Only threw it 18 times last week, threw 3 touchdowns. That'll show you what the defense did for the Bengals with the turnovers and also how much they just didn't have the football because I think it was 58 throws for Ben Roethlisberger. He had it a bunch. The defense was on the field a lot. I heard Joe Burrow's news conference, and he said, yeah, those guys got to get their bodies right. They were on the field a lot. Meanwhile, the offensive guys, they're probably like, 2 games in 5 days, this is nothing. We only ran however many plays we ran. Very interesting to see tomorrow night how the Jaguars come out. Can they keep progressing? That is one thing you can't say. Now, listen, you're bad, you're bad. You're 0-3, you're 0-3. But they have progressed, I believe, from week 1 to 2 to 3. Now, it was an awful start, so there's only one way to go. I couldn't even line up and play football. But seriously, if you look at, I think coaching, I think game planning, I think execution of the game plan, I think Trevor Lawrence, even some baby steps. The thing that's bothering even the Trevor Lawrence growth is the turnovers right now, and I think we can make the case not all of those are on him. So you really got to look deep, and I understand that. But we are searching for something here in Jacksonville now. It's been some 380 days and 18 losses in a row. So you got to search and see, okay, where is it that they could come out on the other side of this? And maybe it is tomorrow night that they could come out on the other side of this because Cincinnati's okay. Cincinnati's 2-1. We don't know if the Steelers are really that good. That was a good win, though, over Pittsburgh. And really the only loss I think Cincinnati had was to Chicago, and they turned it over 4 times. Chicago only once. So they kind of gave that game away and still only lost by a field goal. Cincinnati easily could be 3-0 on this young season. But it's not a flashy 3-0. If you really break down the segments of the team from quarterback to receiver to running back, the offensive line, to defenses and all of that like we do all the time, I think these teams are a little closer than, let's just say, a lot of the teams the Jags will match up with all year in a lot of the different phases. I mean, you'd give the nod to the quarterback, of course, because Burrow's been there and he's playing better. The offensive line, I'm still not sure you'd give the nod to the Bengals, although they're playing better than they have in the past. I think the Jags' offensive line has earned a little bit more credibility through the first few games. The receiving core, Austin and I discussed this yesterday, and that's an interesting debate. Is T. Higgins even going to play? He hasn't practiced this week. He's had a shoulder injury. That could be a big deal and change kind of the look of their receiving core. I think running back is very similar. James Robinson, Joe Mixon. I know Mixon's been around longer, but I'm going to give you this. James Robinson, what he produced last year from scrimmage, if you combine receiving and running, Joe Mixon's never done in his career. And James Robinson did it in year 1. And James Robinson's doing it again. He just hasn't got the ball a lot. Mixon has had the ball more, but if you look at yards per carry, it's 5.2 for James Robinson. It's 4.3 for Joe Mixon. So, again, in the defense, I think the defense of Cincinnati is better. They've produced more. They're getting more turnovers. They're more sound, it looks like. Meanwhile, I think every defense the Jags match up with, I think you're going to probably give the nod most of the time to the opposition. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery. We're here on a Wednesday, usually Thursdays. And guess what? Jaguars All Access is moving here tonight and for the rest of the year. Again, Thursday's the traditional date, but because of the Thursday night game, Wednesday is the day. I don't know why we had to move it on this day, so I have to keep explaining that, but I think you get the idea. We'll be at String Sports Brewery on Thursdays. Jaguars All Access will follow the rest of the year, maybe with the exception of Thanksgiving because of the Thursday. And then, but tonight, we have Jaguars All Access. Kyle Brady is going to join us tonight because a lot of the Jags, of course, are traveling, and that includes Jeff Lageman, who usually co-hosts the show with me. So I'm here. Casey, Austin Lane, back in the Action Sports Shack studios. Casey, it's Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Shack studios.
Not yet.
Okay, just double check.
Yep, we're still we're still hanging out.
Usually you'll give me a go, so I was like, I'm going to take a chance here.
Yeah.
How dare Austin Lane be late?
Yeah, it's weird. Because usually he sends a text like gonna be a few minutes late.
There's nothing. I hope it's okay. There's nothing better than me calling out somebody for being late. I mean, that's just.
It is ironic.
I get a chance to do that. I love it. Now I know I saw your face. I was in the station at like 2:30.
Yeah.
And you're looking at me like, how the heck's this guy gonna make it to Strings and get up on the radio in time?
Yeah, you continuously show up here at times when you're not expected to show up here, and you continuously amaze me by getting to where you need to be in a short amount of time.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for how much I amaze you with my timing.
Yeah.
I'm getting good at setting this up in really no time, especially at a familiar place like Strings because we've been out here for the last month now. So that is very cool. So hopefully we'll see you out here tonight. By the way, Brent buys a beer at Strings like every week. I got 3 people's name on the board. You better come out here and get your beer because it only lasts for 30 days, folks. Duval Doom, Gigantor, Moose. And I told Moose on Twitter today I almost took the beer away from him because he's a Yankees fan. The Yankees swept the Red Sox, so I almost had to erase his name from the board. I just love Moose too much that I couldn't do it. Anybody else I probably would have, but couldn't do it. So, hey, speaking of, just a real quick thought. Do I get to the point now, Casey, where I just almost like – root for somebody else to make it other than the Red Sox because I have now resigned myself to the fact, like this bad fandom, I get it, but I've never claimed to be like the greatest fan of all time. That's not me.
Yeah.
And I don't fake it. I mean, I only root for the Red Sox anyway of any sports team. I'm not a fan of anybody else. And I do root for the Red Sox, but there are better Red Sox fans than me. My blood boils over the Red Sox still and the Red Sox Yankees. That's why I tweeted like a madman on Sunday night when all that was going wrong. But I do believe that if the Yankees and Red Sox play in a wild card game, I think the Yankees are playing good baseball. I think the Red Sox are not. And quite frankly, I think whether that's in Fenway Yankee Stadium or on the moon, I think the Yankees are going to win that game. Yet I think Toronto might have a chance to beat the Yankees in a one-game set, kind of to your point. I think they're more talented. They're just better. And I don't know what I'm rooting for here. Like Seattle, I know they're right in it, but I don't really think Seattle's going to beat the Yankees. I think the one team in the wild card race that could beat the Yankees is Toronto. And you know, it's a trendy thing, right? The Red Sox, I think, won the first 8 games. It might have been 7 against the Yankees this season. The Yankees just couldn't beat them. And now the Red Sox have lost 6 in a row. So I'm convinced they will not beat them in the wild card. Therefore, should I even root for the Red Sox to make the wild card?
Yeah, I mean, if the ultimate goal is to see the Yankees lose, then I would root for somebody else. So I guess you got to put that into perspective. If you want the Yankees to lose, I'd go for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and you almost can't say that out loud, right? I mean, I just did on radio
in
front of millions of people. But that's a bad fan thing because, listen, you have no chance to do anything. Like I don't think the Yankees or Red Sox are good enough to win the World Series. I don't. But you have 0 chance if you don't get in.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So you have. I mean, we've seen sports and crazy things happen. I mean, shoot, the Cardinals have won 17 in a row. 2 weeks ago. Or, well, now 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, before this thing started, every Cardinals fan would be like, they have no chance to win the World Series. Yeah. Now they've won 17 in a row. They can't lose, man.
Get hot, stay hot. I mean, if you're going to win 17 in a row, now's the time. I mean, maybe push it like a week later so you win some in the playoffs. But, yeah, get hot, stay hot, and who would have thought? I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't here yet, but I picked the Cardinals to be in the World Series on the NL side, so I'm feeling at least better about that than I was 3 weeks ago.
Well, there you go. You should be feeling a little bit better about that. I think those National League teams are really good. I think your Rays are pretty good. I think Houston's okay. White Sox, I'm not sure they're seasoned enough to get this thing done, but I've doubted them before this year. And I had to eat some crow on that, right? Tony La Russa, I was like, what the heck are they doing hiring Tony La Russa? What's Tony La Russa doing calling out his players, not defending his players? And then they just kept winning and winning. So,
yeah.
I mean, they got it done. All right, that's it for the baseball talk for now, although I could go all day. We do have golf picks coming up a little bit later on. We've got Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Baker Sports. That is on the way here on a Wednesday. And tomorrow I will be in Cincinnati, so I'll be in and out of the show as we break down the Bengals and the Jaguars some more. I do think this is an opportunity game for the Jags. Like, I understand they stink right now. They're not good. It's really hard. And I've said this before. I'm like, I'm not going to pick the Jags until they show me. Well, I mean, you also like to be the smartest guy in the room sometimes, Casey. And there is some opportunity in this game for the Jaguars. Again, if they keep taking a step forward like they have through the first 3 weeks, started way down there now, but if they can take a step, this might be a gettable game for them.
Yeah, but I agree with you on paper, like, because it's the Bengals, it should be, but the Bengals might be good. So I think that's part of the situation. I think everybody, when you see this game on paper, it's like, oh, the Bengals, we should beat the Bengals. And you probably have a little more backup to your point that this game's gettable. But I just think the Bengals might be really good, and going there on Thursday is not a good recipe for the Jags, I don't think.
Why do you think they're good? Like, do we know that they're good?
No,
I mean, they played a really tough division. Pittsburgh, like blind faith 1 and 2, I could still say Pittsburgh might be good. Cleveland is good. Baltimore, they know how to win, and they have a lot of good things. I don't know if I see that in Cincinnati. Like, I seriously line up these two rosters, and I'm not sure they're separated by that much. I would give the nod to Cincinnati. But am I missing something here? I mean, I don't think their rosters are that different.
No, I mean, I think I know we talked about the wide receivers yesterday. I mean, they have talent at the skilled positions, and they've done well stopping the run. So I just think they might. Like, I trust Joe Burrow. That's another part of it. Not that I don't trust Trevor Lawrence, but I don't yet. I'm sure we'll get there. But I trust Joe Burrow more right now. And this year they've proven they can win. Like, they beat the Steelers by 14 on the road. I mean, that's something. And then you fought in that Vikings game week 1 of the season, and they were losing, and they came back and they held on they won in overtime. They held on to the win. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they are good. I think they might be good. The difference is we think that the Bengals might be good. We don't think that the Jags might be good. We know the situation with the Jags, so that's why I'm kind of feeling more towards Cincinnati, because they might be good. We don't know yet. They might have taken a huge step by drafting Jamar Chase, which I at least thought was interesting, and not taking a tackle to protect Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
It's obviously worked out. So that's why I think there's an opportunity that they could be a good team. They could be the worst of first team this year, and I just give them the edge over the Jags.
Yeah, well, and by the way, you should. I mean, everybody should. They're 7.5-point favorites against the Jags. I don't know if they have a 7.5-point favorite roster, but the Jags have been terrible. So, I mean, I think that's 5 points right there. Jags just are terrible and 18 losses in a row. And listen, if I was Vegas, I wouldn't put any faith in the Jags. So I do wonder if this is built. Now, listen, if I pick the Jags in this game, or if I think the Jags are going to win, I'm going against something that I wholeheartedly believe is, while it's not fact in the NFL, I feel like it's trendy in the NFL. And that is, since the Thursday games have started, I think being a visiting team on Thursday night is tough. I think being a team that's not very talented on Thursday night is even more difficult, because you have got to do – it is just a change in the schedule so much. I mean, the Jags practiced a little bit Monday night, like totally very light workout. Trevor Lawrence said he didn't even throw the football. Tuesday they practice again, and they obviously installing and doing all those things and watching film. And today they travel. And then tomorrow they just kind of rest all day until they play. There's really not a lot you can do, and I mean, you're losing a bunch of days, and I just believe, listen, I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and I'm going to fly to Cincinnati, and I'm not going to play in a football game, and I'm probably still going to feel like crap by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Traveling kind of wears you out. And so I think just that whole thing, not enough time to heal in the body, traveling, not enough time to prep, I think it really favors the home team naturally. And then you add the fact that you're not very good. Like, if you bring in Tampa Bay to Cincinnati, well, they can overcome some of that because they're just good. They could just line up on Monday if they had to play and probably beat some teams. Well, the Jags don't have that. So if I do end up thinking the Jags can win this game, and I'm going to go against kind of a theory that I have that I think it's really hard to be the road team on a Thursday night, especially if you don't have a really good football team. Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery, Austin Lane, the Action Sports Jack Studios. Hey, listen, we don't mind that you're late, but we were nervous about you.
Yeah,
we were nervous.
You should have been. Yep.
You all right?
I'm fine. My phone's probably seen better days because.
Oh, did you lose it off the motorcycle?
Yep, sure did. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a cell phone holder that was guaranteed to be trail rated and also highway rated in terms of holding on to the cell phone, and I hit a little bump, and the cell phone went flying. And then to make matters worse, my work key, like to get in the building, was on my cell phone. So then I've just been kind of chilling outside in the parking lot, waiting for someone to hopefully go in to let me in, and 10 minutes to no avail. And then I went to the front and banged on the door till somebody came to answer, and they let me in the door. That was very nice of them. So, yeah, man, one of those days.
Good start to the show.
One of those days.
Maybe I'll be buying Austin a beer today. Brent buys a beer at String Sports
Make it a
Brewery
case.
to Austin Lane.
Make it a case. Be great.
So you got to carry on. I'm sorry to continue to revisit this, but where is the phone?
It's on the highway someplace. I don't know.
So it's like gone.
I mean, like, I know where it is. Like, I don't think, like, so when it fell off, I tried to catch it. And obviously, I mean, it's hard to ride a motorcycle and be an athlete and try to catch a cell phone at the exact same time.
Well, yeah,
so
the cell phone's got to give. Something's got to give, and it's got to be the cell.
Now, if it was you, I mean, you might have pulled off some kind of Tom Cruise Mission Impossible one-hand riding, catch your cell phone, because it's like dropping a family member. So you may have pulled it off. I didn't. I had to continue. I had to trek forward. So I know where it fell off at. Hopefully it's on the side of the road, and hopefully nobody ran it over. But
yes, I would be in the hospital, but my cell phone would be okay.
For sure. And it's not like I have all my credit cards, my ID, my work thing, everything's on that cell phone. So we'll see what happens, man.
Is this starting to make you second guess motorcycle life?
It's starting to make me second guess what I buy off Amazon Prime in terms of the cell phone holder. Because me being me, I opted for the cheaper model, and I read some reviews, and they're like, yeah, it'll stay on. It's good to go. Well, they obviously didn't take into account me and just going over a bump, so it is what it is there. So it's going to be an interesting scoot out of here when I leave to see if I can find that thing on the side of the highway.
Oh, man, I hope you do it. Well,
hey, what are you going to do?
The one thing we know, it's kind of a nice day in Jacksonville once again.
Yeah.
But that will have turned off because the temperature was too hot.
No, for sure. And truth
That's
be told,
for sure.
Well, and truth be told, I probably should have went back and got it right there. But, when you're on the highway, it's like 10 miles you got to turn around again. So, I could have been a lot more late, but I'm like, well, if we have, to do our golf picks today, the butcher can't be missing those. So I'm like, do I go back for my cell phone, credit cards, ID, key, everything's in there, or do I charge forward for golf picks? And needless to say, I'm here.
By the way, I mean, that is admirable, but you've got the order all wrong. I mean, it's cell phone, kids, wife, show. I mean, that's kind of the order, all right?
Casey, I'm trying to throw rocks at the window. You didn't hear the rocks?
Okay, so here's the situation.
I'm trying to throw rocks in the parking lot so you can get some attention.
No, it's my fault for
Haven't
sure.
done that since, like, your sophomore year in high school, probably.
No, man, just climb the window. You don't have to throw any rocks.
I was gonna come look out the window, but me and Brent were going back and forth, and I didn't want to leave because if Brent says, "Hey, Casey, what's going on?" and then I'm nowhere.
It's not your fault.
I knew I should have looked out the window.
Yeah.
I had a cell phone story today too. Ironically,
nice.
It freaked me out too. I haven't seen this one before, and so have you guys seen or heard about or had it happen to you, where like I'm on my phone, and all of a sudden, things shut down and it said like, a hacker is watching you.
Oh, wow.
Hit this button, connect here to get blah, blah, blah. Like, and it comes up as like an iOS message, like from the iPhone.
Sure.
Like you have, like it really looks official, okay?
Yeah.
What else is new? But it's like you have 2 minutes to do it. And like, what's going on here? Like, okay, do I have 2 minutes to do it? Is everybody stealing my stuff right this moment? Like, caught me off guard. So I'm not like, I don't know what to do. And so what I did was I just shut off my phone.
Smart.
I'm like,
That's what
all
I
right, I'm
did.
shutting off my. I've never seen this before. I don't know if it's real or not.
Yeah.
And we can all, like, in hindsight, say, yeah, you moron, like that's a scammer, right? But in the real time moment, all this is going through your head, like, should I be doing something, or is this really a scam? You know, and 9 out of 10 times it's a scam. And so I was like, but hey, who knows? Maybe iPhone has like all this good technology now. They alert you when they feel like somebody's peeking in on your phone.
Yeah.
Right? But
I doubt
so I shut it off.
Good.
And,
then you turn it back on and nothing's going on?
I don't think so. But by the way, like I don't even know if turning it off was the right thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, if they think they can see everything, they can't now because I'm off.
No, for
So
sure. I probably
figured
just
that was
kept
a
it on.
smart move. But so then I go inside and I'm like, all right, I really don't know, because I was in my driveway at this time, and I go inside. I look on my computer. I'm like, all right, let me look this thing up. Well, I guess this is like a real hack thing. You know, this has been going on for about a year, and so this does happen, and so be aware of it. And then I cleaned out my whatever and did some things that they said that you could do, and I think I'm okay.
Cool.
Money's still in my bank account.
Good.
Like, for now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was telling Steph, I was like, man, that stuff freaks you out for a minute, though. You start thinking, like, oh, my God, what if they have my bank account? What if they have this? What if they have this? And, I mean, it does happen, right? So,
I mean, can you imagine if you would have forfeited that ESPN Plus password and all of a sudden somebody else is using it and I can't get on anymore?
And I wouldn't have Milwaukee Brewers.
You think I'm mad about the cell phone right now? I've been extra mad about that. At least I can still watch ESPN Plus wherever. And that's the beauty, really, of ESPN Plus. It's mobile. You can go on your TV. You can go on your computer. It's everywhere, Brent.
It is everywhere. Who cares about what's in your bank account?
I'll let you know if a hacker gets my bank account, they're going to be so disappointed. Like they went through all that trouble and it was me.
That would be pretty classic. Like, I'd like to see him on the other end of that. You know, like,
This guy only has $43. What the heck?
that wasn't worth it. That took 3 hours to try to get this guy. That stuff freaks you out, though, man. So anyway, be aware of it. And it's a hack. Don't click on any buttons. Hopefully I didn't. Hopefully the off button. Hopefully the off button's an okay button to hit.
You should be.
Anyway, so cell phone gate here on the show early for the Action Sports Jags team. Casey, your cell phone okay?
I mean, it's here. I'm starting to worry about it. That's like, what's next for me?
Right. It's cursed.
Brent Martin here at Spring Sports Brewery. We got Jaguars All Access tonight. Come on out, 7 o'clock. Kyle Brady will join us as we get you set for the Cincinnati game. We'll get you set for the Cincinnati game today. I tweeted out a stat that was kind of interesting, and the Jaguars, well, we're not wrong. We know what they need to do tomorrow on offense. More of that when we come back. Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Temperatures this afternoon in the 80s and some inland spots near 90, but will drop off nicely tonight. Under mostly clear skies, we're down into the mid-60s, and partly sunny for Thursday and Friday, highs in the upper 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Now you can buy like a dealer buys. Save thousands on thousands of diamonds for a limited time at Beard's Diamonds.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer. You get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
For families worried about making ends meet, we are here. For those struggling with depression, we are here. We're also here to protect kids in crisis, assist students, and help our seniors. We're Jewish Family and Community Services, and we've been here offering support to people of every age, race, and religion for more than a century. Jewish Family and Community Services, here for all, here for Jags. Learn more at hereforjags.com.
It doesn't matter how old we are, we all need love and support. Yet, teenagers who end up in foster care have a much harder time finding it, as nearly 82% of current foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. The good news is, you can positively impact a teen's life by becoming a foster parent with help from Family Support Services of North Florida. You don't have to be married or own a home. You provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. So if you've ever felt a calling to help youth, please take this opportunity to explore becoming a foster parent to a teen through Family Support Services. Teenagers may no longer be little, but they still need lots of love. Take the next step by visiting foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
People are still hesitant to come to the shop.
We built a place that people could come and join and meet each other and talk to one another.
Small businesses are the heart and soul of a community.
Hi, I'm Representative Kat Kamak. During these times, it's important to support your local small businesses. They are the core of our communities and keep us connected.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
If you're anything like me, then cars were an important part of your childhood growing up. Literally, some of my very first memories involved helping my grandpa build old cars. If you're into cars, then you know that the technology is always evolving, which is why there's a demand for well-trained automotive technicians. As a student in the automotive technology program at JTech, you'll be learning basic automotive maintenance, diagnostic procedures, and effective repair methods while using testing equipment and specialized tools. The program also includes training on electrical, HVAC, engine performance, suspension, steering, brake systems, and transmission diagnosis and repair. Their shop settings are designed to represent the actual automotive environments that you will be experiencing when you get into the automotive industry. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
ESPN 690, Bozard Ford and Ford's Garage are proud to present Be the Sun, Not the Salt. Do you know any coaches, teachers, or mentors who are doing all the good they can in the community and should be recognized for it? You and your nominee can win free stuff just for being sunny, not salty. Details and registration on WOKV.com. Sponsored by Be the Sun, Not the Salt, Bozard Ford, Ford's Garage, and Cox Media Group.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know just being in the wellness cocoon and the arc bed, that's what I use literally every day. And it might be like a mind trick or whatever, I don't know. But I do feel the difference between like game 4 now, than like last year. I feel like last year I was hurt, banged up quick, you know what I mean? And now I'm taking care of my body more, eating right stuff, working out the way I want to. So it's more of just a preparation week in and week out that I'm got better in, but that does add an extra value, just a protection layer on it.
All right, Josh Allen, I love you, but who cares about the Jags for a second, all right? This is the craziest thing in the world. I mean, you could say that a lot. But,
Yeah.
This is the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So we just told this cell phone story. If you didn't hear, Brent Martineau here at String Sports Brewery, Austin Lane, the Action Sports Shack Studios. Well, Austin comes in about 12 minutes late. Austin's never late, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, he would text us if he was late. So,
for sure,
quite frankly, we're sincerely concerned.
I appreciate the concern.
Something happened.
Yeah.
And so Austin comes in. He says he was driving a motorcycle, which he just got about, a couple months. We've been riding since the last couple of months.
A few months ago.
And on these nice days, been driving it to the studio.
Oh, yeah.
From home.
Yes.
Short ride, right? Not too far ride.
No, it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah. So Well, he apparently he hits a bump on the highway, and the phone, which was on a holder, which is supposed to be bulletproof.
Yes.
And guaranteed to stay there.
Yeah.
The phone went flying.
Correct. And well, the worst part, it went in my lap first, and then I was panicking. Yeah, and then
defensive end.
Yeah, I'm on defense, and then I'm panicking. Like, well, do I place my attention on the cell phone now, or do I focus on the road? And I'm fresh out of the driving motorcycle classes. Shout out to Sunrise driving class. So head was on the road. Unfortunately, couldn't finagle, we'll say, the cell phone, and the cell phone went flying on the highway.
This is what I picture is there's a fumble on the ground, like in football. Austin tried to dive on it, and it just squirted and kept going.
Oh,
like,
for
very
sure.
similar, right?
For sure.
With the phone. So,
yep. And then all of a sudden, Joe Collins shooting me out on the sidelines. What are you doing? Yes. That's what I felt like.
And so Austin gets here, and he can't get in the building because his phone's somewhere.
Yep.
And he's throwing rocks at the window, and Casey's not listening because he's talking on the radio. The show has started. So we tell the story, and as soon as we go to break, we have a group text between Austin, Casey, and myself. And somebody responds from Austin's phone.
Yes. Right before you talked about your phone might have got hacked, by the way, which we were freaking out about.
We were, because I thought mine was getting hacked this morning.
Yes.
Well, he said, hey, guys, Austin lost his phone, so I'm taking it to the AT&T store at the town center so he can pick it up.
Yes.
I said, wow, you found it? This person said yes. And then I said, who are you?
Yeah.
So then while that was happening, we called the phone.
Yes.
And we're like, holy crap, how did you found it?
Yeah.
Then the story explains it. And she explained to Austin how she found Austin's phone and has it, and it's real, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and out of the kindness of her heart, she said that she was behind me. She saw the cell phone go flying. She immediately knew, it was a cell phone, so she pulled over to the side of the road. I mean, not the most safe thing to do, let's be honest here. Pulled over to the side of the road, and she didn't want it to get ran over or stolen, so she grabbed it, and now is taking it to the AT&T store.
I mean, her name, I hope we say it right. At least when I asked her name, I said, give us your name so we can give you a shout-out. Because, quite frankly, I thought this was somebody who was listening to the show.
Yeah, no, has no idea who we are.
Yeah, she has no idea who we are.
Not in the sports, probably.
Hey, I think we found a new listener.
Maybe.
I hope. Because it reads as Chestina. I hope I say that right, but it's Chestena. Chestina.
Yep.
And so, I mean, she's a Wednesday hero.
I mean, listen, man.
We don't do a Wednesday hero segment, but we just did.
No, it's unreal that somebody saw that and thought, hey, let me go ahead and pull over and grab the cell phone and make sure nothing happened. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a cell phone. Like, I was going to be okay eventually. Like, eventually I was going to be okay. But,
I did tell you earlier, I mean, the order of priority is usually cell phone, kids, wife, work.
Brent would have been on the motorcycle, and now he's in the hospital trying to do the show from there, live streaming from there.
The best part is, like, she didn't pick up the phone and said, oh, Austin Lane, I know who that is. Like, she did it because, like, she just wanted to be a good person.
Sure.
She didn't recognize you. She didn't know you. She just wanted to help.
And to be fair, I mean, I was here for some of the dark times in Jaguars franchise history. So
but
my name's not ringing any bells here, really, Casey, unless she follows football.
I was thinking listener to the show.
No, I got you. But if it was like Josh Allen, well, then, oh, yeah, by all means, take all his stuff and just say you got Josh Allen's cell phone. But for me, who cares, But I appreciate it.
Like, it's a great story. Like, it's unbelievable. I can't believe that just happened. And by the way, it happened in a matter of moments. It's not like it happened like 3 hours later.
Now, she's taken it to the AT&T store, and I have a Sprint phone. I hope I don't walk in the door and they try to, like, swindle something now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're always trying to get a sale.
Hey, listen, it's going to be a hard pitch.
Do you
I mean, you ever go, you ever do the timeshare things? I mean, you get something, but you got to give a little time. Well, guess what just happened to you? You're going to get your phone, but you're going to give a little time.
Oh,
if you have sparring tonight, tell them you'll be late.
They're going to be like, yeah, so we see you got a Sprint phone, and we're going to get back to you, but have you seen our deals right now in terms of memory and in terms of gigs? We got a lot more over here at AT&T. So
what are the odds the phone is shattered just completely?
I don't think it is.
It's got to be, right?
We didn't ask that question.
Well, first of all, I got OtterBox on that bad boy. So, hey, OtterBox, this is your time to shine. This is gonna be your time to shine in a little bit here.
I mean, you had to be going 60, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. At least.
So I mean, you got the fall, you stopped the fall a little bit, but I mean, it can't be enough. I mean, it's got to have some damage to it.
I'm just saying, at around 6:15 Eastern time. That's 5:15 Central. Check your local listings. I'm going to have the ultimate Otter box review, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Can you go like now and just leave I'm curious. You want to just leave the show and come back?
No, because we have golf picks, and we got Jaguars stuff.
have golf.
We got Jaguars stuff.
The town center's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, man. No. Could we just wait till after the show?
Yeah, but there's no way. You would definitely do this on the morning show for your other work.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, no.
Yes.
No,
they would make
I
it
can't
a
even
bit.
leave my seat. Oh, yeah, I'd probably make it a bit for sure. But, yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I couldn't leave my seat. No.
I mean, I don't really care about making it a bit. I'm really just curious. But you better hope that AT&T doesn't close before 6.
Well, I'll look it up. I have a computer in front of me. Casey, I guess for the sake of Brent and his curiosity, if you want to call my cell phone back at I'm sure a Sprint customer is going to, or a Sprint worker is going to answer it, and then, AT&T worker is going to answer it and just say, hey, can you take a quick screenshot of the photo or whatever and see if the phone's busted? And then he can email that to you, I guess, or something?
Hey, by the way, AT&T, I mean, I know Austin goes with Sprint, but I'm an AT&T customer. I love you.
Oh, there you go, Brent.
There you go.
There you go.
The workers are going to be so confused, by the way.
Oh, I know.
They really are. They're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, the guy didn't even buy this. We don't even have this name on a record.
This is why we need interns on the show, so we just send an intern to go do it, Brent.
It's true.
What are we doing? 3 years in the show, we haven't had one intern.
Well, we haven't. No,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have interns. We really don't have much, quite frankly. I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of just trying to make it.
You don't got to purvey that to the people.
We're going on 3 years here.
Yeah.
Like, it's minor miracle, quite frankly. But it doesn't matter. You couldn't send the intern anyway because you're going to have to show some identification, is my guess.
How is he going to do that, Brent?
With what, Brent?
His face?
So you said you lost
everything.
Oh, so you lost everything. What do you have? Like one of those things that you put the stuff in the back of it?
Yeah. It's like I think they call it the commuter case or whatever. So like,
So your license and your
credit cards, everything, yeah.
So that's probably gone.
Hey, Brent, what do you mean it's probably gone?
Is it inside the Otter box?
It's inside the case.
Okay,
so the case like flips up.
Let's hope Chestina isn't going on a shopping spree to Target.
Well, hopefully she's not listening because she probably doesn't know it's even in there until we said something. Now all of a sudden the phone's not going to be at AT&T, and now all of a sudden, I'm sure my credit card company is trying to get a hold of me, but the catch-22 is I don't have my phone to answer it.
So the phone, right? Like the person who has the phone is just approving. Like, did you do this transaction?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, sure. But of course I did. Yeah, I approved this one too.
One last thought here is, like, I thought maybe you'd ask her to come to the station, and then I was like, that might be a little strange. It might be a little odd, because we're not that far from the town center. But it's a good thing you're happily married, because otherwise I'd suggest this is like you're going to meet like the woman of your dreams, and this is like out of a movie.
Yeah, but I don't do blind dates though, right? Like we don't know what she. Yeah. No.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, that would be pretty wild, right?
This is something from the movies.
Like that kind of story.
This is something from the movies. I know.
I mean, this is something like I'll go back and tell it like 10 years from now. But that part's no good. I mean, you're happily married. So
well, yeah, and I'm sure my wife's texting me right now about your comments. But once again, the ironic thing is, I
you
can't read
get them.
So maybe I shouldn't go to the AT&T store.
I kind of knew that.
Yeah.
She doesn't have my cell phone.
No.
I might see her comments on Facebook.
Oh, she's going to send you a Facebook message. Don't worry about that. Yep.
That's an incredible story.
Wild.
I seriously can't wait to see how this ends. I want an update, tweet it out or something.
Sure. No, I'll definitely tweet it out after the show.
I mean, I really do want you to go to the store like right now, but
I know.
Fine, golf picks prevail.
Cool. But no, I mean
even Sanderson Farms open or whatever it is.
For real. But I mean, and then hopefully Sanderson Farms open. But at the end of the day, hey man, if the phone's there, I'll be pretty excited about it. But shout out to people out there being cool sometimes. It's sometimes it's a rarity, and if she drove past, I wouldn't blame her, but. She's the 1 out of 100 who stopped and got a cell phone when she didn't have to. So, shout out to her for doing that. That's really cool.
And by the way,
I'll pay it back for sure.
Not advised. Yeah, paid for it at least.
I'm sorry.
Not advised to do that all the time. I mean, that can be dangerous. So
yes,
that's what actually caught my attention. I was like, gosh, because I don't know exactly where it was. So maybe it was in a spot where it was okay to kind of pull over. But that is a wild story. To be continued.
Yeah, I mean, who
Here
knows?
on ESPN
Maybe you really did get hacked, and and that was all a setup, talking to her on the phone, and they needed some kind of voice confirmation for me to hack something else, and now we're just underwater. So who knows, Brent?
Now I have $0 in my bank
tuned,
account,
man.
and Casey still has $43.
Stay tuned, man. Oh, man.
Please hack Casey's. Take his money.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's not going to get you much, but, do what you got to do, people.
We'll be back. Not the way we expected to start the show. We will talk some more football when we come back, and we will have those coveted golf picks at some point, too. Here from String Sports Brew, Reaction Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The Big Hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text FORCE to 42424 right now. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424.
Are you an experienced diesel technician that's in fear of losing your job due to the recent vaccine mandates? Bobcat of Jacksonville is a family-owned, mandate-free employer offering great pay and benefits. Apply today at bobcatjax.com.
If you live in the Southeast, you know that air conditioning is king. And as the population grows, so does the need for more AC units, which means that there's more demand for technicians. And guess what? The HVAC industry is growing 13% faster than your average job, according to the 2018 Bureau of Labor Statistics. And on top of that, the average pay is over $22 an hour. And this is where JTech comes in. When you attend the HVAC-R program at JTech, you'll get the hands-on training that is focused on understanding the different types of HVAC systems, logical diagnostic procedures, effective repair methods, and so much more. And by the end of the program, you're going to be trained on all the necessary areas that employees are looking for, so you can be their first-round pick as a technician or an installer. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
The American Freedom Tour is coming to Jacksonville. I'm Dean Black, chairman of the Republican Party of Duval County, and it's time for Republicans to get motivated and defend freedom. 2 historic days, Friday and Saturday, October 8th and 9th. Come see Donald Trump Jr., Kayleigh McEnany, Dan Bongino, Dinesh D'Souza, and many, many more. Get your tickets now at DuvalGOP.com. I will see you there.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time when our community gathers to raise awareness, honor the lives lost to domestic violence, and let survivors know they are not alone. Show your support by attending Hubbard House's Barbara Ann Campbell Memorial Breakfast, October 5th. This inspirational program features a survivor of domestic violence sharing her story of overcoming abuse. Tickets are available at hubbardhouse.org/breakfast.
Bozard Ford,
Ford's Garage and ESPN 690 are proud to present Be the Sun, Not the Salt Community Award.
Do you know any coaches, teachers, or mentors who are doing all the good they can in the community and should be recognized and rewarded for being positive energizers and making a difference? Are they kind, authentic, compassionate, and positive? Then tell us why they deserve to be recognized. You and your nominee can win free stuff just for being sunny, not salty.
Details and nomination forms are available on ESPN 690's website. Powered by Be the Sun, Not the Salt, Bozard Ford, Ford's Garage, and Cox Media Group.
Farah and Farah is accepting applications for its second annual Empowering Greatness Scholarship. 5 high school seniors will be awarded full tuition to a 2-year Florida college of their choice. Learn more at farahandfarah.com/scholarship. Jacksonville.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business with Windows 10 Pro. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Succeed anywhere with Windows 10 Pro. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Here's what else you can use. You can use Easy Garage Solutions to really change the dynamic of how you use your garage. That's what we did at our house. It's been awesome. We created so much space on the floor. We got all those bins now elevated, hanging from the ceiling above the garage doors when the garage doors are up. If you want a visualization of it, can hold a lot of bins up there and create more flooring space. And then also monkey bar technology. So you got the bikes. Well, it takes up a lot of space when the bikes are on the floor of your garage. Well, just hang them up. Perfect. Monkey bar technology is one of a kind, only with Easy Garage Solutions. It'll last you a lifetime. Holds 1,000 pounds of weight. Lawn equipment, beach chairs, you name it. Put it up there and hang it from the side walls of your garage. Easy Garage Solutions, $250 off any storage of over $2,500. So if you go and try Easy Garage Solutions, you can save $250. EasyGarageSolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. Do what we did. It's that easy.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane. Check out Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Hey, welcome back. Strings Sports Brewery. Brent Martineau here. Action Sports Jax Studios have Austin Lane and Casey Kurtz in him. And once again, 3 p.m. until 6 p.m., Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Jaguars All Access coming up at 7 o'clock from Strings. Each and every week now will be at Strings, usually on Thursdays, Wednesdays because of the Thursday night football game, of course. We'll talk more about that game, and at 4 o'clock I want to bring up a stat that I think kind of tells the story of the Jacksonville Jaguars, what they need to do. But the big story of the week around the NFL, Austin, is Tom Brady and Belichick and the Patriots and the Bucks, and I really don't think it's going to be in that great a game. But kind of lost in all of it, at least from a local perspective, is Mac Jones is smack dab in the middle of this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the Mac Jones part of this story could be really cool. Let's just say Mac and Patriots beat him, and Mac plays well. I mean, that's what a start that would be. What a story that would be. That's part of the tale of Mac Jones for the end till the end of time. And he's 23 years old. Tom Brady's 44 years old. I don't expect that to happen, quite frankly, but Mac Jones playing well in this setting could really go a long way for his confidence and for the New England Patriots' confidence in him.
Listen, I'm a sucker for a good narrative, and it's a great point that you bring up because it never even crossed my mind. We're all talking about Tom Brady versus essentially the evil empire. And, Tom Brady is going back to where he started, and, he's trying to stick one more to Bill Belichick. But, another narrative that you could say is, okay, the student is going to beat the teacher. The replacement comes in and beats the guy that he's following in, his footsteps, if you will. So it's like the predecessor reigns supreme. And that's another storyline as well, and it's getting lost because, Bill Belichick has that much star power. Obviously, Tom Brady has that much star power. And underneath it all, you have a guy in Mac Jones, which is a good story in his own right. A guy that came out of Alabama, who I think his senior year, no one expected to get as drafted as high as he did or have as much success as he did. And now he's kind of, AKA the next Tom Brady in terms of how he fell in New England, how, there's some similar characteristics of Tom Brady, and now he's going against the guy that he replaced. That's a great story in itself.
Yeah, it really is. Mac's been a pretty cool story for the last 18 months or so. I mean, probably further than that if you really follow him and know him, but really to the world the last 18 months and what he did at Alabama and now being the 15th overall pick and now replacing Tom Brady. And I thought of this story like you say, you're a sucker for a story, and I am too. And like one of my things that I never thought about this before much, but in the last few years, I hate at the end of the game when they go away from the handshake line.
Yeah.
Like I want to see, like in college basketball, I want to see what that legendary coach says to X player, and then they'll put up the score and go to break, right? I want to see Tom Brady kind of greeting the quarterback, or they'll show the Belichick stuff if that happens. But some of those things that happen after a game, well, I was thinking about what will the Mac Jones-Tom Brady interaction be like? Will it happen before the game? I would assume there might be a little hello. Maybe Mac doesn't even want to be a part of that because there's so much going on, and Brady might be doing that with 100 other people because he knows everybody. Or maybe Brady decides, you know what, I'm coming out late. I'm not doing that stuff. I don't want to be distracted. So what's it like after the game? Well, it probably depends on if Brady wins or loses. Could be quick if he loses. Might be a little bit longer if he wins. But I'm kind of looking for that part of this football game because we know Mac Jones, and he's from Jacksonville, and he's supposed to be the guy that takes the place of Brady. And that kind of would feel a little bit like a passing of the torch at Gillette Stadium and for the New England Patriots in my eyes. So that's what got me on this topic a little bit, Austin. It could be a huge moment for Mac Jones. I would think personally, and he can't admit this week, but he must be just so fired up. I mean, can you imagine, like, when Mac Jones, go back to when he was playing at Bowls, even in his wildest dreams, if he said, man, someday I get to play against Brady, he could do the math on the calculation and be like, even if I make it to the NFL, I can't play against Tom Brady. He's going to be 44 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 15th overall pick to the New England Patriots, the guy that's supposed to replace Brady, beat out Cam Newton, and now is in the middle of this colossal collision in the NFL here. Week 4 between the Bucks and the Patriots, Brady and Belichick. I mean, it's pretty wild, and no matter he's got to be nervous a little bit about it, fired up about it. But at the end of the day, Sunday comes and goes. By late Sunday night, no matter what happens, this is a story that he will tell, for the rest of time, no matter how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, life definitely comes at you fast, and I think we'll see how Mac Jones plays us in terms of the pregame. If he does go up to Tom Brady, like, I don't know. And listen, I don't know. You know Mac Jones a lot better than I know Mac Jones. I mean, you've talked to his family before. You've talked to Mac Jones before, haven't you? Or not?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. So you know what he's bringing to the table. I always get the sense that he's more of just like an even keel guy and like doesn't get caught up in the antics in the pageantry, if you will. So like I'm not if I was going to venture a guess, I don't think Mac Jones makes a big deal about it before the game. Now, maybe after the game, shaking hands and everything, by all means. But, like, I think, especially that New England Patriot way, where it's not so much of you're playing in a huge game. It's all right, we're playing, Tom Brady, we're playing Tampa Bay Buccaneers, no big deal. Like, that's the message I feel like Bill Belichick always conveys to his team. Like, the moment's never too big. It's just another game. Let's focus in and lock in. So I think you're going to see that reflected in Mac Jones as well, and you're not going to see a guy that's going to be in awe of the moment because, well, the New England Patriots, they don't really get in awe of too many moments.
Hey, big news. We'll go back to maybe the Patriots-Bucks in a bit, but just got the Jaguars injury report, and Josh Lambo will not play tomorrow night against the Bengals. Still listed on the injury report as non-injury-related personal. That happened Tuesday. During our show, we had Josh Scobie on yesterday talking about it. And, you heard Scobie, if you listened to the show yesterday on ESPN 690, you can go back and listen to what he said on this podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Go subscribe to it. But bigger than that is when I told Scobie the news when he got there, and the news came out about 5:05, and Scobie joins us at 5. His face kind of said it all, like, whoa, what's going on there, And we all wondered that. We talked about it. We talked about it last night. We said, follow the story. Well, he does not practice again today for personal reasons. He's out for the game, which means they are going to bring up the kicker from the practice squad, and I think they have to make that move by 4 o'clock, so that's coming shortly. hey, man, it's a big story in Jacksonville, but it's interesting story, too, that he gets listed as did not practice personal, like I need a day or two off, I need a game off, but we haven't cut you yet. And that's kind of something I suggested yesterday, that could they just set him down and let him clear his mind for a week or so. I don't know how this came about. I don't know if that's the intent, but that's the way it reads. It's going to happen at least for this Thursday night game. They could cut him tonight. They could cut him tomorrow. They could cut him next week. But as of now, he's still on the team. He's just not going to play.
Man, yeah, this is I mean, to me, and obviously I would say the locker room knows more than we do right now. At least I hope so. Like, I hope his teammates are like, well, what does that mean? I mean, I'm sure they have some sort of inkling of what's going on with him. From our standpoint, we see personal reasons why he's not practicing, and that could mean a laundry list of things. Like, it's not an injury, so we assume, well, he's 100% physically healthy. Is he just emotionally drained? Is there something? It's just, it's more questions than answers, Brent. And I guess, being a short week, that is maybe a plus, and that's a positive, because now, Urban Meyer has to get in front of the media and answer all these questions about Josh Lambo. His teammates don't have to answer all these questions about Josh Lambo. You just go to Cincinnati, you play tomorrow, you get back on the plane and take care of business, and it is what it is. So, there's a silver lining there. But, I mean, this is a little bizarre. It's bizarre from the standpoint of what does that mean? We're all asking the same question. Like, what is I haven't seen this before. Maybe you have. I haven't.
No, this is a little odd. This is wild. A lot of times kickers just go, right? And there's a reason why I have defended the idea of not cutting him. We'll have more of that. We got to take a break. We're a little late. I will tell you this, and I've just been updated, and I appreciate this update. I won't say who, but they actually have until 4 o'clock tomorrow to make a move, not today, because of the evening game, the Thursday night game. So they have until tomorrow at 4 o'clock to actually pull the kicker up from the practice squad if they're going to make a move with. And remember, you get a couple practice squad guys that can come up for some games. So they actually can maneuver the roster a little bit and keep Josh Lambo around if they choose to do. Why I advocate for that a little bit and did yesterday and continue to do so today. That part of the story coming up. Josh Lambo will not kick tomorrow night against the Bengals. The embattled kicker is out due to personal reasons after missing practice yesterday and today. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. More on the Lambeau front coming up.
Trevor Noah, back to Abnormal World Tour.
I feel like there should be a rule in America. They should say you can hate immigrants all you want, but if you do, you don't get to eat their food.
Award-winning comedian and host of The Daily Show on Comedy Central, Trevor Noah, live on stage.
No Dominican food, no Asian food, nothing. Only potatoes.
Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena, Friday, February 11th. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. More details at TrevorNoah.com.
There's a national shortage of cars right now, so your car might be worth more than you think. Come to the ACV National Auction this Friday and Saturday at the Tom Bush family of dealerships. Drive in, have your car scanned, and watch it go live for dealers across the country to start bidding. Want to sell your car with no headaches? You can on the spot, or just find out what it's really worth. It's free and there is no obligation to sell. This Friday and Saturday, hosted at the Tom Bush family of dealerships. See what your vehicle is really worth. 9850 Atlantic Boulevard.
Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Right now, the NBA announced players who do not follow local vaccination mandates won't be paid for missed games this season. New York and San Francisco currently have a vaccine requirement that would prevent unvaccinated players from entering arenas. That would impact the Nets, Knicks, and Warriors. The Steelers' offense isn't that far off. It's close to getting back on track, according to quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. He insists that it's not one big issue for the offense. It's the little things like penalties and missed throws. Says they need to execute better. He believes the offense needs to start faster. That begins with him. The main problem for Pittsburgh is that offensive line, explains ESPN Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor.
The issues that Roethlisberger has had, a lot of them stem from that line. It feels like he's not able to go through his progressions, his reads very quickly because of the pressure that's coming on him. And he's been hit so many times in the first 3 weeks that I think it's really affected what he's been able to do.
Brooke Pryor on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. College football, Georgia quarterback J.T. Daniels is expected to play against Arkansas on Saturday, despite the fact that he's dealing with a lat injury.
Introducing ATG by Wrangler. We are all greater outdoors, and this apparel doesn't compromise, conform, or call it quits. So, when you're heading into the wild, wearing ATG should be second nature. Shop Wrangler.com today.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I don't know. I just don't want to lose. I don't want to be down on any category, but like especially if they're running the ball, it's the easiest thing to do in the National Football League. If you got a good team that can just hand the ball off and run and get 6 yards, 7 yards of carry, they're going to continue to do it all game. And if that's not working, then they're going to throw the ball. So. But I know our main focus is to stop the run this year, man. I feel like we've been doing a heck of a job. We have the guys that do so, and this is another challenge for us, and we're looking forward for it. We're looking forward to it, and we're going out there to make some plays.
That is Josh Allen. I'm really interested to see if the defense can put together back-to-back performances. That'd be really cool. I thought they coached well last week on a lot of fronts. I know everybody's mad about the flea flicker, but I really think they coached in a lot of different ways, and I thought Joe Cullen's group was well coached, well executed. I thought it was a pretty good plan. We didn't see Kyler Murray all over SportsCenter. Maybe that was just the Cardinals played poorly. I don't know. But you got to give some credit to the defense, too. They still give up 24, and they still throw for 300 yards. I mean, it's a good offense. And, again, I don't think you can make the case that somebody throwing for 300 yards means you played poorly on defense anymore. It just doesn't happen. Big Ben threw for 58 times and 300-something yards, and Cincinnati's defense played awesome. I mean, they gave up 10 points and had a couple turnovers. So you got to be a little careful of the stats in that regard. All right. Hey, the big story right now. We just told you before the break. Josh Lambo will not play tomorrow. He is out for the game, which means he likely didn't travel either, as the Jags just left a short time ago. He did not practice yesterday. This got us yesterday at 5 o'clock on ESPN 690. This news came out, and we had us all kind of everything swirling in our own minds and asking questions and wondering. And the crazy curiosity of all this, because of the short week, is that Urban Meyer was done talking to the media. He wasn't talking today. He's not going to talk tomorrow before the game. So everybody had already talked. And then the injury report came out, just the nature of it in a short week on a Tuesday, which is usually an off day. And he's out for personal reasons and not cut. Nobody else activated. Nobody else brought in. Now, they do have a kicker on the practice squad. And then today he doesn't practice again, and now it's announced he's out for the game, and he will not play against Cincinnati Bengals. There's a lot of ways I want to go here. And I'll go what I'm thinking about keeping him on the roster. But just how about the curiosity of this thing, man? This is about as mysterious as I've been around in Jacksonville. When you look at a game week and a guy playing or not, there's usually not that much mystery around a player, you know?
I mean, like I said, I've never really seen this before, and the fact that it's a Thursday night game, we don't really have a lot of explanation of what's going on. And when you don't know, then people start to speculate a little bit. Obviously, we know Josh Lambo didn't practice yesterday. I assume that Josh Lambo didn't practice this morning, assume that they had a practice before they got on the plane, kind of like a walkthrough. What I don't know is if there was expectations for Josh Lambo to be on the plane and to play Thursday night or not, or if this was always in the game plan where they're just, for whatever reason, they're going to sit him out for this game and then bring up somebody else. Like, we don't know that right now. I mean, do we know, is Wright on the plane, the guy that's on the practice squad? Did he make the trip?
I would assume he did. I don't know that, but I would assume he did.
And do we know, is Josh Lambo on the flight to Cincinnati?
No.
He's not.
This is one of I was just talking to somebody, actually, Scott Adib from String Sports Brewery just asked me, he's like, hey, did he make the trip?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. This was actually before our show. Scott asked me that because we were talking about the Lambo stuff. And I said, I don't know, but usually we would, like we usually travel with the Jags. And I'm not actually even going up until tomorrow morning because I've got access tonight. But this year we're not traveling with the Jags because of COVID protocols and things. And so a really tough one to answer, man. I don't fully know. I would say this. I think Matthew Wright is the kicker that is on the practice squad. I think he's on that plane, and he's kicking tomorrow. I mean, the Jags they're not going to sign a kicker tomorrow and have the guy show up at the stadium. They have a guy on a practice squad. He's going to get his chance tomorrow. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind Matthew Wright, and I'll give you more on Matthew Wright in a bit, but he's going to kick for the Jags. He is on that plane today, and he is going to be one of those guys called up from the practice squad because you can do that. You can use two guys call up. That happened last year, happens this year, and I like that move on game day, and the Jags will no doubt make that move tomorrow, and Matthew Wright will be the kicker for the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Bengals on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, and then obviously it begs the question, let's say he has opportunities. Let's say that he shines. Is that the exclamation point or the end of the chapter then for Josh Lambo? I mean, we talk about he's not playing for this game, but like this decision right here of what's transpired the past day and today, I mean, it could have ramifications for Josh Lambo's career here in Jacksonville. So I'm very curious to see how that's going to pan out.
Okay, so and that's where I want to go with this. Now Josh Lambo. So Matthew Wright's going to kick. The kid out of UCF. I'll give you more on him in a bit, but quite honestly, he's secondary part of the story at the moment.
Well, and can I just say one thing? If he's going to be kicking in Jacksonville anytime soon, and the game day experience people don't play the right stuff by New Kids on the Block, then what are you guys even doing? Okay, please continue. Tell me I'm wrong,
we'll
Brent.
See how he does.
Tell me I'm wrong.
See how he does
Tell me new Kids on the Block. The right stuff wouldn't be a banger in the stadium for Matthew Wright.
That would be good.
What a welcome! What an ambiance! What a just a pageantry for a new kicker. I'm just saying.
It beats the damn Bon Jovi song that everybody tries to play, even though the Patriots played it in the fourth quarter of the AFC Championship game and then came back and beat the Jags. That song should be banned from the stadium.
We aren't the Patriots. Yeah, stop that.
All right, but anyway, now for Josh Lambo.
Yeah.
Josh, here's one thing I've heard. I've heard he was, like, really devastated on, like, Monday. And I think Josh Scobie even – this wasn't from Scobie, but Scobie kind of reiterated a little bit of that, like, yeah, he's in a tough spot right now, man. This hurts, I mean, this is kind of like trying to figure it out what's going on, and there's a lot going on the mental side of things, which you can certainly – I mean, should we be surprised by that? No. But I'm just telling you that Monday – there's stuff going on. I mean, and so he just might not be in a very good place right now. And they might have said, hey, just sit this week out. We got a guy in the practice squad, and let's see what happens here. Let us think about it a little bit. There's no reason to make a move, right away. We got a guy in the practice squad. We can use one of those spots. Let's do it. Now, you can't always play that juggling game with the kickers because there's too many other positions of need, And you don't want to start taking up roster spots because your kicker might not be in a great mental frame of mind. I mean, they could cut him at some point. They might cut him tomorrow. I don't know. But I would not suggest that. And I talked to you guys about this yesterday, you and Josh. And I said it last night on TV again, or anybody who will listen. Or maybe it was Monday on Jags Report Live, and we were debating it. I would have a little bit of fear in cutting Josh Lambo. He's obviously not in a good place right now, but I feel like this is a guy that Dallas could pick up if they need a kicker in 3 weeks, and he never misses a kick the rest of the year. I don't think he's washed. I think he did too many good things. For 2 years, he didn't miss a kick, basically. And I think giving up on that's dangerous. And it's less about Josh, to be honest with you. And it's more about who are they bringing in? Like, who is Matthew Wright? Mm-hmm. And who is the next guy? Austin, we have to remind people, they went through 6 kickers last year. It was embarrassing. They went through 6 kickers. There's a football team that lost 15 games and had to go through 6 place kickers. It was unheard of. And so we talked about this with Josh last night on the show, and this is Scobie I'm talking about. There are just not kickers walking up and down the street. You can be like, hey, can you kick a 52-yard field goal? Oh, yeah, no problem. It's a weird thing. I thought there'd be more of them, but it's hard to replace guys. And so I am not convinced the best move for this organization would be to sit Lambo for this game and maybe even next game, play the Matthew Wright kid, and bring Lambo back and see what he's got. And then if he doesn't have anything, then you got to cut him. But just give him a little bit of a break if you can handle it with the roster maneuvers and see if he just get out of that little funk that he's in. Because I can tell you he's in a bad place right now. And having him kick tomorrow night, I said this on Monday, if he goes out and kicks a 43-yard field goal, we all think he's going to miss, and I think Josh thinks he's going to miss. And that's in a bad place.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. But then what kind of precedent are you saying by he's going, okay, you know what, guys, our kicker's not really feeling it right now. We're just going to rest him, but we're going to give him some more opportunities when he's ready to come back out there and give it the old college try once again. Like, what kind of precedent are you sending in the ultimate performance-based business?
Well, okay, this is
like
I get what you're saying.
The guy missed 3 field goals and 2 extra points. Like, I mean, I understand he did a lot here in Jacksonville, and he's a great dude. I enjoy talking to him. But it's a performance-based business. Like, if I go out there and I jump, like I have 3, 4, or 5 bad games back to back to back to back, goodbye to my starting spot, and I'm probably cut out myself.
Yeah.
So
okay.
What are we doing?
Okay. I'm trying to find it's a hard comparison because he's a kicker. But let's just say 2017 Paul Puzzlesny. He's getting a little older, okay? He plays. He's not playing well. He's missing tackles, missing gaps. Like, it's weird. But he's built up, like, years of equity. We love him, right? We trust him. We got to get him out of this. Well, you might not play him as much. They didn't play him as much anyway. He played more sparingly in 17. But just ride with me here, okay?
Right.
And don't lose your phone. I think that's what this could be. Like, I don't think every player gets cut for playing poorly in 3 games is my point, Austin. Like, I understand it. Some do. But I don't think everybody does. I don't think that is the case. Now, kickers usually do.
Well,
most kickers would be cut. But and again, this is not say, hey, man, I love Josh Lambo so much. I think you got to keep him. Give him another shot. Nah, that's not my fear in all of this is who the hell is Matthew Wright? Who's the next guy coming in? Who's the guy 4 weeks from now trying to come in? And how many kicks are they making? I think the best guy still might be on your roster. You just got to get him through whatever this funk is, and it might be worth a try.
When we talk about the kicking position, it's the ultimate black or white position. Now, I'm not bringing race into the mix, obviously. What I'm trying to say is like if you're Puzz, and let's say you have a couple bad games, okay, so maybe you lose some playing time. Well, let's go back to the plays. Well, was it a plus play here? Was it a stalemate? Was it a negative? Like you can break down film. You can say, all right, maybe he didn't do the best job, but he was still in his spot. Or maybe he was out of his spot, but he made the tackle anyways. It was a tackle for, a 3 or 4 yard gain, but he still made the tackle at the end of the day. He did his job, just not to the best of his abilities. It doesn't work like that for kickers. You either make the field goals and you make the extra points, or you don't. And it's as simple as that. And in the past couple of games, Josh Lambo has not made the field goals. In the past game, Josh Lambo has not made the extra points. So you haven't done your job. Now, I don't know if it's a hip, if you're still bothered by your injury, if it's a mental thing. I have no idea, and I hope that he figures out. I really do. Like I mean no ill will towards Josh Lambo whatsoever. I want to see that guy succeed because he's built up the resume. But I also saw Adam Benatari, go 1 for 3 and then 1 for 2 on extra points, and then people were calling for his job. And we're talking about Adam Benatari, arguably next to Justin Tucker, according to Josh Scobie, the greatest kicker of all time. And how much resume did he have before they're like, dude, sorry, man, but this is probably it for you. Because
and he was 43, but they kept with him.
To an extent, and then he even saw it himself. He's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying. And yes, this is a team last year that won 1 game that has not yet to win a game this year. So I feel like you need every roster you can get right now to try to find that right combination and make it work. And I just don't know if you have it within you right now to say, hey, let's reserve one of these spots to make sure that our kicker's in a good mind frame. He's in a good state of mind to say, hey, let's have you come back and maybe you can work through this a little bit.
Yeah, listen, if this was 2 years ago, the way the roster configuration is set up, I couldn't even make this argument. You'd have to be like, what are we doing here? I mean, the guy kicks 3 times a game. He can't make them. Get rid of him. Sorry, he's making $3.5 million. Get rid of him. See you later. I feel like with what's going on, I feel like what the Jags are doing at the moment is basically because they're allowed to do this under the current configuration of the rosters and practice squad with expanded practice squads and the ability to call up players. This gives them flexibility to try what I am suggesting and not have to go through the kicker carousel of last year in hopes that they get it right. I'm telling you, that was demoralizing last year. It was demoralizing, I think, for everybody in the city to watch that happen. And it was demoralizing for everybody in that locker room, I guarantee you, to watch those kickers go out there and miss and get hurt and miss, and I don't even know who we have, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm a little scarred from that situation and trying to avoid that situation this year when I know I got a guy that was like 2 years ago an all-pro kicker. And again, it goes fast. I am not trying to be Josh Lambo's agent. I'm trying to protect the Jags from disaster 4 weeks from now when they've rolled through their 4th kicker in a month.
No, I hear you. Let's go over this a little bit. 2019, Adam Benatari, his last season. Adam Benatari goes 17 for 25 total on field goals. That's good enough for 68%, obviously the worst numbers of his career. On extra points, he was 22 of 28. Played in 12 games. After that, it was done. Now, that's, I'm not saying Lambo's on pace for those numbers, but it's hard to tell what he's really on pace for right now, right? Because we really don't know. But I'm just saying, if you can take the greatest kicker in the game, and he's kicking 68% from the field goal percentage and 78% from extra point percentage, and you leave him after 12 games, and you leave him, I think anybody's on the table, regardless of the resume that you built up. And listen, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. And from Josh Lambo's case, once again, we don't know if he's hurt right now or not. And, is he at home thinking, is this fair right now? Probably not, right? Because you did so much for this city, so much for this team, and now I'm here on the radio talking about you maybe losing your job. That's not fair to Josh Lambo, but that's what the NFL is, man.
Oh, yeah.
Right? This is the performance-based business. And as a player, it's what you sign up for. It's one of the harsh truths, if you will, of the NFL. And right now, Josh Lambo is going through that harsh truth.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think he's injured. Now, you could say, does it stem from the injury last year, the mechanics, the confidence, some of that? Well, I think that's in play. I don't know that, but I think that's in play. I think Josh Scobie, when we've had him on the last couple of weeks, has suggested the mechanics will look a little bit different, and the confidence certainly has been shot. So, but I mean, it's been 2 years now since he kicked well. All right? So that's legit. That's what's happened. But I will say this, Austin. I don't think he's sitting at home being like, I can't believe this has happened. I'm not on the trip. I wouldn't be surprised if he asked for this.
Yeah.
I mean, I seriously wouldn't be surprised if he said, guys, just give me this week to clear my mind. I think I can still do this. I want to help the team out, but I don't think I'm going to help you out Thursday. Now, listen, I have no idea. But I will tell you this. From what I've heard, and I just think from what I've seen, I don't think he's that disappointed he's not kicking tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to kick again.
No, I know.
I just
Brent,
think this is a nice little. This is hey, listen. We see this in other sports, though. I know the NFL's different. I get it. The kicker spot's different. I just think we do see this. Listen, Aroldis Chapman. If he goes and blows 4 games in a row, they put him in the 7th inning or they sit him down for a week and a half. Go collect yourself, right? You don't have your best stuff. Your mind's all messed up. Why don't they do that? They could be doing that here. I'm almost advocating for them to do it here.
But it's okay, and I hear you. But Chapman, there's only one. There's a lot more pitchers. Someone can take your spot. You said it yourself. We don't know who this right guy even is, right? But now he's taking Josh Lambo's spot. I don't know how tomorrow night's going to go in terms of the score. Could be a close game. Could be a blowout. I have no idea. But assuming it's a close game, and assuming maybe it does come down to a couple field goal kicks or an extra point here or there, I mean, if you're Josh Lambo and you say, hey, I need some time off, that's great because you have to get yourself right first before you can get anybody else right, and I understand that. But then what kind of precedent are you setting to your team where, hey, we need this kick, the game's on the line, and Josh Lambo's not there? If this was Josh Lambo's choice, I'm saying.
Yeah. We are getting some folks that don't like the comparison to Benatari. First of all, I think it's very hard to compare to Benatari anything. But I think what Austin's trying to say there with the Benatari is even he wasn't above it.
No,
he wasn't above being like too good for it, or eventually it was like that was it. It wasn't. I know you're not comparing kickers, but people are saying, hey, it's a little bit different between the mental side of things that Lambo's encountering and the age-related thing that basically Benatari was encountering.
What I'm trying to say right now is if Josh Lambo's in his first year here in Jacksonville and he missed those field goals and those extra points, he'd be gone already.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't even talk about Josh Lambo on the team.
True.
My point is that Josh Lambo has built a resume here in Jacksonville where they may try to see this thing through a little bit because of what he's done in the past. Because a couple years ago, he was, in terms of percentage, one of the best field goal kickers in the entire league. That's where he ranked. I'm saying the resume that Adam Benatari built up, he has the best resume of possibly anybody of all time. And even Indianapolis said, you know what? Yeah, you won Super Bowls. You're one of the most clutch kickers of all time. But you're struggling. We can't do this anymore. We have to go in a new direction. My point is, if the resume of Adam Benatari couldn't let him play the whole season, well, then what is the resume of Josh Lambo's? That was my point.
Yeah. I get it. I get what you're trying to do there. Listen, I think it's about as fascinating a story we've had. I mean, we just had C.J. Henderson traded on Monday. I mean, they're not sure he wants to play football.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got Josh Lambo, who's just obviously all messed up because he can't make kicks for the first 3 weeks. Who's the doctor from Ted Lasso? Have you seen that?
Sure haven't.
Yeah. Get her in here. Get her in here.
Casey, you understand that right? You watch Ted Lasso? See, no, we're just shaking our heads. We don't know what you're talking about.
Gosh. I mean, listen, when I've seen stuff and you guys haven't, especially stuff that people like and is good, that's a problem for you.
I
that's
understand.
your problem. That's your fault.
Won all the Emmys. I get it. Best comedy, yada, yada, yada. It's a show about a soccer player or a soccer coach who's it doesn't appeal to me. I don't know.
Good news, I'm on the way to getting Apple TV. So, Brent, I'm almost there.
Thank you.
Also, I've been waiting 22 minutes to let you know I have pictures of Austin's phone and the damage on it.
Oh,
it's damaged?
We'll get an update on the phone. We'll get an update because
really
I got
damaged?
a couple. We did get a couple of Facebook messages
From what?
on that.
What is going on?
I know. We got more on the phone gate.
Okay. Hey, real quick, though, back to Ted Lasso, because I have to nip this in the bud right now, because this conversation can't keep on going on. If one more person tells me, tell you what, it's a wholesome show. It's a wholesome. that doesn't sell the show for me. If it's wholesome. Mr. Rogers is wholesome. I enjoyed Mr. Rogers when I was 10. I'm good now.
Yeah, but it's like it's got at times it's like Disney meets Andrew Dice Clay. I mean,
okay. I mean,
it's maybe not as Andrew Dice Clay, but you get my point. I want your mind going there.
Okay,
that's what it is. I mean, I think it is like the wholesomeness. Sure, Disney. The rest of it,
okay,
not so wholesome.
I'm just saying.
Like you think wholesome, you're going to show Ronan at 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
You ain't watching this with Ronan, all right? That's why I just want to make that clear.
Okay,
I just had people tell me
it's wholesome. It's got a lot of heart. I don't need that in my comedies. I really don't. Sorry.
No, but we might need that in the Jags building.
You better believe it, man.
But one quick thing before we go. Matthew Wright, 6 foot 179. I don't think weight and height matters on the kicker. But played 3 games with Pittsburgh and 20 went 4-4 on field goals, 7 of 7 on PATs. Also handled 14 kickoffs for the Steelers. Spent a portion of the 2021 training camp with the Detroit Lions. He is a record holder at UCF. I think we mentioned that. Now, you'd be a record holder at UCF if you played in those days because they were scoring like 80 points a game. So you just kick the extra point and you score a lot.
Yeah.
But still, UCF guy, so that's kind of cool for people who are Knights fans. And he'll be kicking tomorrow night under the lights. Everybody, think good thoughts for kicker Matthew Wright. He'll take the spot of Josh Lambo tomorrow night against the Bengals. Why do I think this is going to come down to a kick? We'll
Probably
be back.
will.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN. We have no we have the best special teams in the land. If we could just find a kicker to split the uprights, like it's not even like negotiable. Like you can't even debate it. Like we got the best special teams in the league. At least we got something.
Well, you know what coaches say? Special teams is 1/3 of the game. Yeah. I mean, we're 1/3 on our way, possibly.
Well, if we could have a 1/3 winning percentage if we had a kicker that could kick it through the uprights.
Right. Yeah.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. An update on PhoneGate coming up.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Temperatures this afternoon in the 80s and some inland spots near 90, but will drop off nicely tonight. Under mostly clear skies, we're down into the mid-60s and partly sunny for Thursday and Friday, highs in the upper 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Now you can buy like a dealer buys. Save thousands on thousands of diamonds for a limited time at Beards Diamonds. Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewels.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
You're invited to shop at the White Harvest Farms and Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from a 10.5-acre urban located at 4850 Moncrief Road. There's volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer, call 904-354-4162 or visit the White Harvest Farms Eventbrite page. White Harvest Farms wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White mission.
Here in the Sunshine State, more than 3 million men are over age 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If you're having problems in the bedroom and pills like Viagra have let you down, you'll see results at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your exam is free. And it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. Guaranteed results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
Are you bored from being
Bored? Then put a little excitement in your life in a great pre-owned from Arlington Toyota. Our friends over at Arlington have over 400 used available. 400! All makes and models. Plus, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. I'm excited. Are you excited? Then shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/September for full details.
One of the more difficult issues facing small businesses today is having enough work to keep good employees. What if your business was affected by a sudden or extended drop in income because of COVID-19? What can be done to ensure that the people who are your top performers remain with you? Many of our SCORE volunteers have faced similar situations and willing to share their expertise. Take advantage of the opportunity to gain their knowledge by registering to participate in a SCORE webinar or schedule a free confidential meeting with a counselor at jacksonville.score.org.
Massive increases in online ordering since the pandemic have sent demand for delivery truck drivers through the roof. And with that being said, the increased competition for those willing to be long-haul truckers has led to pay for drivers to be at an all-time high. Truck drivers are the glue that holds supply chains together, and no container, straight truck, or trailer moves without, at some point, a truck driver. So that means that right now there are high-paying job opportunities for people that are willing to get their Class A commercial driver's license, and J-Tech can help. J-Tech Institute's 4 or 8 week commercial truck driving and CDL program is helping students acquire the skills necessary to prepare for their CDL examination and to launch successful careers as commercial truck drivers. To learn more about J-Tech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
My name is Sanjay Patani, and I'm an emergency medicine physician. It's the after effects of getting COVID that the young population should be concerned about. There's chronic fatigue syndrome, blood clotting disorders, heart problems. There are long chronic lung problems. The essence of this vaccine is not to prevent you from getting coronavirus. It is from preventing you from getting seriously ill and potentially dying.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Hospital Association, the Florida Medical Association, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Join us for the Autism Speaks Walk as the autism community reunites to support one another and fuels the mission to promote solutions across the spectrum and throughout the lifespan for people with autism and their families. Your commitment is what empowers Autism Speaks to provide crucial resources, research, advocacy, and support for millions of children and adults on the autism spectrum. Together, we can create a world where all people with autism can reach their full potential. To register, visit autismspeaks.org.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
No, he's just going to keep getting better and better. He's as talented of a guy as there is. Like I said, he's just going to keep getting better and better as he accumulates more reps. Obviously, it's tough. Early in your career, you're still figuring everything out, but he's got all the talent in the world.
That is Joe Burrow talking about Trevor Lawrence. And a lot of good thoughts around the league on Trevor Lawrence so far. So hang in there, basically. You got to take some of the lumps early on. And this rookie class sure is doing that. A little different than Burrow got off to a better start. Obviously, Herbert as well. Some of these rookies have played well or better than certainly this class. I don't think that means this class is going to be bad, though, Austin Lane.
No, I mean, it's still way too early to tell. But obviously, we're so spoiled last year with Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert in terms of how they hit the ground running. That now that's all we expect. Like we have to see over 300 yards per game. We have to see at least 3 touchdowns per game to be like, oh yeah, you're the first pick, or you're the second pick of the draft. That makes sense. Like that's just what we're accustomed to now. And obviously, especially this last week, we didn't see anything close to that.
Yeah, we didn't for sure. Hey, we got an update on the phone, and then I'll give you an update on the game, Bengals and Jags too. But. So I kind of have to revisit this, but I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version. We couldn't find Austin Lane. He was 10 minutes late to the show. That never happens. Usually calls or texts if he's going to be late.
Yep.
And, well, he drove the motorcycle to the show today, and the phone went a-flying.
It did.
And somehow landed, I'm assuming, on 295.
You assume right.
And so then he couldn't even get in the building because he didn't have his card to get in the building and couldn't call anybody or text anybody. And so he's throwing rocks at the window.
And I tried to kick the door. It just wasn't working.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm not going to say anything else because I don't know who's listening.
Yeah, because at that time you were probably like you probably could have went to a fight, and had done really well, in the cage probably.
If Dana White needed somebody short notice for even a championship fight, I might have been the guy at that time, yes.
Yeah, I bet you would have. I would have put my money on you, too, because
sure.
I know. I've been there, but I just wouldn't want to fight anybody after, but that'd probably be my best performance in a fight, I can tell you that.
For sure.
So anyway, we tell the story in the first segment of the show when Austin arrives. As soon as we went to break, we got a text from Austin on our group text that someone had picked up his phone, and they're going to drop it off at the town center at AT&T. And so then these guys called her. It turned out to be a she. Chestina is her name. And we just thought it was a listener of the show. She has no idea who we are.
Nope.
And so we've been communicating, and then she dropped it off, I think. She was listening to the show, and then she gave us a Facebook message now that she doesn't have your phone.
Yeah.
And can't be on the group text with us.
Yep.
And she said, this is the Facebook message. Hey, guys, Chestina the phone finder here.
Nice. I like that. I like it.
I heard this segment. Thanks for the shout-out. No worries. I'm an RN, the most trustworthy professional out there.
I like
there
it.
There you go. I'm also a Jags fan.
Oh, cool.
And if I saw Austin's last name, I would have definitely recognized him. Hey!
Oh, that's nice of her. That's nice of her.
Could she tell you how many sacks you had? I don't know.
Well, hey, I mean, it's only me and Austin Pleasance, so you tell me who's doing good.
Pastor. Austin Pastor.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
How many Austins
I think he's got me in game started,
history?
too. Never mind. I stand corrected.
She said, I could have taken the phone to the T-Mobile store, but the phone locked before I could reply.
Oh, no.
It's safe and sound at AT&T. They close at 8. Take care.
No, she's good. Yeah.
And the phone is in perfect condition as well. Shout out to the Otterbox.
Otterbox coming through in the
I
clutch.
didn't have to wait for you because you're off Twitter after 6 o'clock anyway. Your phone doesn't work, so you wouldn't even have told us until tomorrow. The Otterbox, it came in. It's good. You're all good.
That's awesome, man.
That's unbelievable.
And here's the saving grace of the story is that when I was, on my bike, I was listening to music because I have my headphones in because it helps keep the air out because it's bad for your ears if you're just on a motorcycle on the highway. You need to have some kind of ear protection. So I listened to my headphones. So I had my headphones in listening to music, and at the last light that I was at, I turned it up a little bit, so my screen didn't lock. So then when my cell phone fell off the bike, when it fell, the screen wasn't locked. So when she found it, she could text you guys or call you guys or whatever the case may be, and it was all good. If my screen would have locked, well, then that's another story, and that's some more problems for you.
Yeah, we might not be here if that screen had locked.
Yeah.
That is, and I guess lost in all of this was the fact that I had told the story today that I thought I got hacked, and all of a sudden we had somebody texting
literally
from Austin's phone.
3 minutes after the fact. Brent goes, yeah, I think I might have got hacked. And here's my invisible cell phone somehow texting the group text.
There's just a wild turn of events here today on the show. It's been amazing.
It's wild.
Chestina's the greatest. I mean, she is. I don't know her. I have no idea.
I don't know either, man.
But she's the best.
But there's some cool people in the world. And by the way, shout out to Brett Martineau for trying to say, well, hey, this happens in movies sometimes. If you weren't married, I'm sure she's smitten by that one now. So thank you, Brent. She's listening to the show, apparently.
I'm not trying to set anybody up. I'm just saying, this could be like that kind of in other circumstances.
I got you.
I mean, she might be happily married with 3 kids. I don't know.
You never know.
You're happily married with 1. So,
I am.
I mean, we're not going to do that here. But, I mean, that would have been a wild twist to it, too. Someday down the road.
Can't let it go.
You're the one that brought it up.
Matchmaker Brent. Yeah. Well, I didn't know she was listening to the show when we were talking. So
I mean, listen, I told you I'm a sucker for a story, whether it's Mac Jones and Tom Brady or this.
Man.
That is just awesome. The whole thing is wild to me. But anyway, your phone's in good place.
It
is.
is.
Make you feel better.
I
can feel the energy through the other side of the radio.
Yeah.
My headphones here.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a new lease on life, it feels like.
I'm not going to lie. It's a giant sigh of relief because the whole process of replacing the phone, and then they got to mail it to you. I mean, truth be told, it's kind of refreshing because I don't have a cell phone for a couple of days, and then I don't have to worry about anything. on the other show. Well, hey, can you post to social media? Sure can't. Don't have a cell phone. Sorry. But I'll do that when I get my cell phone back. So I'm just glad I got my cell phone. Like I said, all my credit cards and everything were in there as well. So, yeah, it's good.
Well, now listen.
That's what I was more stressed about, honestly.
We're saying a lot of nice things about this lady who was kind enough to find your phone and drop it off at the store.
Yeah.
You're going to get sold an AT&T phone as well, so that'll be good for you.
Going to have a backup.
But what we don't know completely yet if she didn't grab your credit card or not. I mean,
that's a good point.
We're not fully aware of that.
And here's the beauty of it. She had no idea that my credit cards and ID were in there until we talked about it on the radio.
Yes, we did.
Now she was listening to it on the radio, so I'm sure maybe she's been a good Samaritan. Like, oh, okay, I'll take it back to the AT&T store, and all of a sudden me on the phone. Well, by the way, my credit cards are in there as well, and she opens them up like, oh, well, this is interesting. So we'll see. We'll see, Brett.
We will see.
I don't think she did that, but we'll see.
What a great story. It's like a storybook ending.
There's still people out there, I'm telling you.
If you like this story, you'll really like Ted Lasso.
Oh, jeez, here we go again. Here we go again. Wholesome, right? Wholesome, feel good?
Yeah. And by the way, I haven't watched Ted Lasso. I'm like 4 episodes behind. But
okay.
Anyway, I think you'll really like it. All right, let's take a break here. We got to take a break, get back on time. When we come back, we continue to talk about Jags, Bengals, the rest of the NFL, everything else going on in the world of sports. Like hockey and the NBA are starting up, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
That's like crazy.
Preseason started yesterday for hockey.
For hockey. That's nuts. It just doesn't feel like it's that time yet.
And can we also talk about one that affects me personally of the dumbest way to celebrate? And now, if my phone didn't stress me out enough, I'm even more stressed out now because somebody celebrated too much.
Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, we'll get into it.
All right. That's a good tease. I don't even know what you're talking about. But
good.
Come back and listen.
Cool.
We'll be back from String Sports Brewery. We have Jaguars All Access tonight, 7 o'clock. Kyle Brady will be here. We'll talk some Jags. We'll talk the latest on Josh Lambo. That story isn't going away either as the Jags head to Cincinnati to play the Bengals on Fox 30 on Thursday night football. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long. Right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours. Served in minutes.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning. Angie's List is now Angie, and caring for your home just got easier. Whether you need help with routine maintenance or a dream remodel, Angie makes it easy to see reviews, compare quotes, and connect with top local pros who can get the job done right. Plus, you can see upfront pricing and instantly book hundreds of projects. No phone tag, just the work you need done at a time that works for you. Angie's got your to-do list covered from start to finish. Book your next home project today at Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
SportsCenter update brought to you by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge.
Can you picture a better way to spend a beautiful fall day supporting a great cause than on the world-renowned stadium course at TPC Sawgrass? Ronald McDonald House Jacksonville will host its annual Golf Classic event 9:30 a.m. Monday, October 11 at TPC Sawgrass. Experience an unforgettable afternoon of golf while supporting critically ill children and their families. For details and to register your foursome, visit www.rmhcjacksonville.org.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's Family Feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Been thinking about selling your car? Think you can get more selling it on your own? That can be a big hassle, not to mention scary too. Find out what your vehicle is really worth with the coolest technology available. ACV Auctions will be in Jacksonville this Friday and Saturday. You can drive in, have your vehicle scanned, and watch as hundreds of auto dealers bid on it in a live auction setting. You can sell it on the spot or just find out what it's worth. It's that easy, and it's free. Proudly hosted by the Tom Bush family of dealerships. 9850 Atlantic Boulevard.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. The Child Cancer Fund has teamed up once again with local organizations for a community initiative called Home Team Jags. Together, this team provides world-class pediatric cancer care to local children battling cancer and invaluable resources to families all year long. In September, the Child Cancer Fund comes together to raise awareness for childhood cancer with other local organizations. To learn more about Home Team Jags and its providers and partners, visit hometeamjags.org.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people will remember radio ads. So, 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We all know the soothing scent of Vicks Vapo Rub, the comforting scent families everywhere have come to trust. Whether you had a pesky cough and couldn't go to sleep, or you just needed a loving touch of care to help you feel better, Vicks Vapo Rub has always been there. It always made you feel better, and today, it still does. Reach for Vicks Vapo Rub and wrap yourself with the calm and soothing relief only Vicks Vapo Rub can bring. Vicks Vapo Rub, trusted soothing vapors, always there for you.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. You're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
You know, balance in your offense is one. You know, have balance and not put a guy in harm's way constantly. And we did better this game. We're not where we need to be, but we were better. That was closer to what we envisioned.
That is Urban Meyer, of course. Brent Morto, String Sports Brewery. Jaguars All Access coming up tonight, 7 o'clock, usually on Thursdays, and it will be out here. Come on out. See this place. Strings is awesome. Just had a sandwich. It was fantastic. I try something different every time on the menu since I'm here every week. And everything's been great. I haven't even had my own beer yet. Maybe tonight after the show, since I don't have to do the late shows. That could be an idea, Austin.
All right.
One of these days, we're going to get you down here.
Yeah, for sure.
Tracing a phone down the highway.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Austin Lane, the Action Sports Shack Studios. Hey, I want to remind folks, the Relevant app is another way you can listen to our show. You know, we're available everywhere, all over the globe, quite frankly. And download the Relevant app. And I think you'll like it. It's one quick click of the button. Boom, you can hear live ESPN 690. Just join our vibe. That's what they call them, ESPN 690. any time of day, boom, play live radio right there. It's really fast, really easy. I love it. And then you can also check out some of the conversations we'll have as we get more people downloading the app. We can have conversations and debates, and you can do your own podcast if you want. You can really have a lot of different uses, even in your own company, to reach out to the people that you work with on a daily basis, but also to go back and forth with us on different sports topics. It's called Relevant, RELEVNT, the Relevant app. Download it right now if you can. Austin Lane, do you think you could catch a gator in a trash can? Did you see that?
I did see that. And,
That's awesome.
I mean, it's insane. Absolutely insane. That size of gator, sure. Full size, full grown, angry, ornery, maybe not. But I'm confident.
I was so curious at how it was going to end, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what are we getting at here? Is this Florida Man? and well, it kind of was Florida Man.
It
but
was.
It was like it. I showed Steph and Ty this morning, and I felt like we all wanted to clap.
Yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, we've seen these videos before, and they don't always end well. They end up with a finger or something missing. So, yeah, I was happy that we got the results that we wanted.
Hey, let's get Steven in real quick. Ask a question about Jags Bengals. He's been hanging around for a while. Steven, what's happening, man?
Hey, not too much, guys. How about your day besides Austin losing the phone?
It got better. Let's just say that.
It got better, man.
All right. I asked 1010XL when I called in, but I want to get your guys' opinion because I like you guys better.
Drop him totally. Like, just get him out of here today. Get Steven out of here today. What are we doing? What are we doing? When is Steven going to learn? I mean, what in the world was that? Austin Lane.
Yep, go ahead.
Nicest guy on the planet, right?
You? Yes. Not me. You? Yes.
I mean, I don't mind some of this silly stuff. I don't
Sure.
I get that, like, not everybody understands the business.
Yeah.
Steve.
Can't do that.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
I mean, that's unacceptable. Like, I'd get yelled at if I let that go.
Yeah.
How good was Casey on the drop? Was Casey good?
Quick draw to McGraw is what we call him now.
I mean, what are we doing here? Yeah. I mean, Steve, I'll consider you a friend of the show now. I mean, you call in quite a bit.
You do.
We can't have that.
Can't have it.
Not now. That is just not going to be allowed.
Not ever. You're not going to mention every single week what Tom Brady's doing to Bill Belichick's press conferences. You think Bill Belichick cares?
No.
Nah, you lose that credential. You lose that credential real quick.
Just don't care. All right.
I don't take credentials away, Brent.
All right, I need a lift now all of a sudden after that because I don't like getting borderline angry.
Yeah.
You wanted to fight the door earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to fight Steven.
For sure.
Some guy was fighting a gator this morning.
Everyone's fighting.
And but now you have a celebration. No, what's the celebration story?
Okay, you want me to raise the spirits? This does not raise the spirits for me.
Okay.
So now it's only going to make me more upset.
Make me feel better.
Okay, cool, awesome. You heard of a guy named Devin Williams from the Milwaukee Brewers?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well,
I don't know much about him.
Okay, well, let me go and clue you in real quick. Devin Williams last year was the MLB Rookie of the Year. Okay.
Wow, I probably should have heard about
you. Yep, he's pitching from the A spot. He's a setup guy for Josh Hader. Devin Williams had a fantastic season this year. 54 innings pitched, a 2.5 ERA, 87 strikeouts, 28 walks, 5 home runs given up. Not too shabby. Just coming into his own right now, right in time for the playoffs, and he's part of that Brewers rotation that is oh so deadly. I walk in here, I sit down, we talk about the phone, we do what we got to do. Casey goes, hey, did you see the Devin Williams news? And I go, Devin Williams news? I mean, I know the Brewers think they got beat last night, but why? What happened? Did he have a good game? And Casey goes, he got hurt. In which case, I think Casey's kidding with me. And Casey goes, oh, that's right, you couldn't have saw it, which is correct because I don't have my cell phone on me because it's breaking news. So during the celebration, when the Brewers clinched the division, Devin Williams had too much champagne. Apparently there was some kind of argument, and he punched the wall with his throwing hand, and now Devin Williams can't play in the playoffs. Now Devin Williams is out for the season. Devin Williams is on IR.
Wow.
And I'm done.
Wow, that is
and I'm
like
done.
That is Martin Gramatica. That is Gus Frerotte. We were just talking about this recently.
I'm done.
Who were we talking about that celebrated and that we brought those guys up? Who had messed up the celebration? Like we talked about Morales on home plate, remember? That is like, but this is worse. Because let's be honest, Gus Frerotte is Gus Frerotte. I mean, Kenny Morales was probably during the regular season. Mm-hmm. And Morales wasn't bad. But who's the other one I brought up?
Gramatica.
Gramatica. He's a kicker.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is an important part of the team.
He's the airbender, as they call him, yeah.
That is amazing. You can't do that.
Yep.
And by the way, you shouldn't be celebrating that much at this time anyway.
Well,
don't get so, lost in the champagne in September.
Also,
you can get lost in the champagne in late October.
Also, don't be a pitcher and punch a wall with your throwing hand. Maybe.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, he's out for the year. Cool.
I will tell you this. Now, it didn't matter. But when I'm bring this back around to me in my playing career.
Sure.
When we celebrated, I think, to go to or to win the conference in 1999 at Ashland University, well, I was nursing an ankle injury. Mm-hmm. And might have tweaked it during the celebration.
Yeah.
Not that they really needed me that much anyway.
Sure.
I was like, well, now this is why I'm out.
Brent, the last airbender. I mean, were they calling you the airbender in Ashland?
No.
Okay.
We had a kid when I was playing in All-Stars one year. He's our best player, and he missed a ground ball and punched the ground underneath him, the dirt on the infield, and broke his knuckles. From punching the ground.
Listen, high school kids have done that all the time, right? I mean, everybody probably knows the guy who punched the wall and broke his hand in foolish fashion.
Yeah.
It's happened.
But I want to know, what was the altercation where he felt the need to punch? You just won the division.
Yeah, I know. I would like to know more of that story. Like, you said he was mad at somebody?
Yeah, so apparently they won the division. There was obviously celebrating. There was some sort of altercation in the locker room, and out of frustration, Devin Williams, a.k.a. the airbender, punched the wall with his hand.
That's wild, and that does not bode well for your Brewers going in. I mean, just
relax.
What's going on? I mean, if you've got some animosity built up in a celebration.
I know.
What are we doing?
I don't know, Brent. Hey, Craig Counsell, get your guys in line. All right, get your guys in line. What are we doing?
Back. Football at 5. Josh Lambo won't kick tomorrow. T. Higgins won't play tomorrow. The Jags have a chance to win this football game if they do what? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll be back on ESPN 690 live from String Sports Brewery.
Are you an experienced diesel technician that's in fear of losing your job due to the recent vaccine mandates? Bobcat of Jacksonville is a family-owned, mandate-free employer offering great pay and benefits. Apply today at bobcatjax.com.
The American Freedom Tour is coming to Jacksonville. I'm Dean Black, chairman of the Republican Party of Duval County, and it's time for Republicans to get motivated and defend freedom. 2 historic days, Friday and Saturday, October 8th and 9th. Come see Donald Trump Jr., Kayleigh McEnany, Dan Bongino, Dinesh D'Souza, and many, many more. Get your tickets now at DuvalGOP.com. I will see you there.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin. I want to talk about my friends at JTech. JTech is a local nonprofit private institution of higher learning focused on essential career training such as automotive, diesel, HVAC, marine and RV technology, and commercial truck driving. They are currently hiring technical education instructors for all of those programs. If you're tired of being retired and all the mundane activities that come with retirement and you have experience in those trade fields, they want to talk to you about using your knowledge and skills to teach and prepare the next generation of skilled trades men and women. So go ahead and give them a call to start the process. Their phone number is 904-328-5599. Again, that's 904-328-5599. Do good by giving back and teaching the next generation the skills that you've learned over the years, all the while becoming involved in helping the country by narrowing the skills gap. Call JTech today.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that helped me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time in the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard, aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Join us for the Autism Speaks Walk as the autism community reunites to support one another and fuel the Autism Speaks mission to promote solutions across the spectrum and throughout the lifespan for people with autism and their families. To register, visit autismspeaks.org.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Patriots coach Bill Belichick for Tom Brady ahead of the return of the Buccaneers quarterback to Foxborough on Sunday night. Brady's a great player, works hard, and nothing he does is a surprise, according to Belichick.
It's as tough as any quarterback there is or ever has been. Enough said. His numbers are incredible. He's about to pass the all-time passing record. He's done more than any other player at that position. In whatever measurement you want to take, whether it's yards, completions, touchdowns, championships.
Patriots coach Bill Belichick, veteran cornerback Richard Sherman signing with the Buccaneers. One-year deal, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Sherman says he needs a week to prepare to get ready to play in a game. NBA announced players who don't follow local vaccination mandates won't be paid for missing games this season. New York and San Francisco currently have a vaccine requirement impacting the Nets, Knicks, and Warriors. Georgia quarterback JT Daniels has a lat muscle injury. He is expected, though, to play Saturday when the second-ranked Bulldogs face number 8 Arkansas. Much more on these stories coming up on the 6 Eastern Sports Center on ESPN TV.
Want to look like $1 million? Upgrade to a Dollar Shave Club 6-blade razor for a noticeably smooth shave thanks to their 6 precision-cut stainless steel blades. Find your perfect shave with Dollar Shave Club stores. Yep, that's Dollar Shave Club in store. So go to the store and find them.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I didn't think about it too much. I mean, obviously, you have some thoughts like not everything's going to go perfect. It never does. Didn't in college. I mean, it went really well in my career, but it was never perfect. I had my struggles. So you always are aware of that, and that's going to happen. But I don't think that's what you should focus on. You got to focus on just being your best and just being prepared. And I feel like I have been prepared. Obviously, I haven't played as well as I've wanted to up until this point, but I feel like I'm getting better. I know I'm prepared each week, and that's really all I can do, and I know I'm getting there. So
that is Trevor Lawrence. Again, very good insight. We wondered how he would handle losing. I think he's been fantastic at it. Don't get too good at it. But you get my point. I mean, we did wonder. I think that was an interest. How do you bounce back? How do you get better? How do you get through the mud? This is an organization right now that has to get through a lot of mud. There's just not a good feeling around the Jags, probably even internally, until they win some football games. And that's just the way it is. Listen, I love covering them. I love talking about them. It's exhausting at times. I mean, it is. It's exhausting because you people are working, and the fans want it so bad. I mean, they got another group going up to Cincinnati with the Bold City Brigade tonight, man. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be there. They're spending their hard-earned money to go, and listen, they've got an option to do that. You're not every team is going to win championship after championship after championship, but it's been such a long road around here that getting through that mud is a real deal. Like, that is on Urban. That is on Trevor, whether they like it or not. And I think they've done an okay job of embracing that. I think they understand it. I think Urban might want to talk about winning, but he now knows this is going to be a little bit, right? I mean, this isn't going to be just overnight, I'm Urban Meyer, I win football games. Mm-hmm. And there's a little bit of that I even buy into. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence win football games. It's not in their DNA to lose. I still believe that. But I think this is a little bit of a transition. Can they get through this transition year? And then I think some of that will play out. But there's some mud to get through now, and it's pretty deep.
No, for sure. It is a transition year, and, I think at least the public thought it would look a little better in terms of the win and loss record. I think, Houston was obviously, from that standpoint. When we see the Cincinnati Bengals team, and I get it, they are 2-1. They just beat a Pittsburgh Steelers team that, I don't know how good the Steelers are, but to beat them at Heinz Field, I don't care how Ben's playing, it's still impressive, at the end of the day. So I do hold this Bengals team in pretty high regard right now, which is kind of ironic because, during the preseason picks, I'm like, yeah, Cincinnati Thursday night, that's a game you can probably win, right? Because I didn't foresee the Bengals playing this good. But at the same time, yes, it's on a short week, and yes, you're traveling to Cincinnati, so disadvantage for the Jaguars. But at the same time, it's also a short week for Cincinnati, right? So it's an even playing field there. Now you're playing away once again, and that's an advantage to the home team every single time. But, I felt horrible about the Cardinals game. I thought it was going to be a blowout. I thought that the Jaguars wouldn't even didn't belong on the same field as the Cardinals, just in terms of the firepower, the explosiveness that the Cardinals had. I thought it was going to be a curb stomping. And for most of that game, it was competitive. It was entertaining. The most competitive game, obviously, I believe, of the season so far. And every game so far, we've seen a team that's built and shown improvements in areas. Now, they haven't got the win yet, but I would rather see a team improve every game as opposed to a team going the opposite direction, right? Because then we're really worried about things. Guys not getting lined up properly, too many penalties, yada, yada, yada. Well, from that first game in Houston, hasn't been a lot of talk about penalties. Hasn't been a lot of talk about lining up properly. So there are improvements there. So now you go from your third game where, once again, it was competitive for a while, then mistakes at the end cost you, and then, the score and the box score, it reads differently than what the game actually transpired to be. But now you got a team with Cincinnati who I don't hold in the same regard as Arizona. I think that you're going to see the best version of the Jaguars come this week because, well, let's be honest, we've seen it so far every single week in terms of improving on themselves, and it could be a game that, who knows, maybe there's a possibility that they can make it very interesting.
Yeah, I think you say a lot of the right things there. What I believe the Jags have to avoid is this huge step back, and they have been a national embarrassment at times. That's just fact. We've had to sit through that, and hopefully the Jags play their most complete game. And it's really, I said this yesterday, this is really an opportunity to put Trevor Lawrence on a different platform than these other guys that are struggling. Because here's the deal, Austin. Nobody's paid attention to what Trevor Lawrence has done nationwide that much. They'll pay attention to tomorrow night. So let's just say he comes out, makes some plays, and he if he has that juke move on the run against the Arizona Cardinal player the other day, tomorrow night, if he has that zip throw to DJ Chark, a nice throw to Marvin Jones, some of those kind of plays, and he comes out of here and he's, 23 of 30 for 275 yards, a couple touchdowns, no picks, Jags win, and he's on NFL Network and Fox and everything else after the game all across the country. Well, that will carry some weight now, Yeah. The flip side is the Jags backtrack, and they get skunked by Cincinnati, and Trevor's turned it over again. And everybody just like saying, well, Jags, all right, whatever. What are you doing Friday? That's the other side of it. So there's a chance here. There is a chance for the Jags to gain some ground in the public opinion,
Well, and that's important. And I know it's not everything, but it's like you said. I think after that Houston game, there was frustration, at least from my standpoint, because it was more of the same. Nothing really changed, right? It was what changed from the turnover from the Urban Meyer regime? For coming from the Doug Marrone. It was penalties, it was sloppiness. Like, it just wasn't a good look, wasn't a good product. And these past 2 games, like I said, there's been improvement. Well, what we tie with the old and what you're trying to wash your hands of now is how this team has played on prime time, of when you've had the opportunity to showcase who you are to the entire country. Now, granted, those games have been few and far between, right? And I'm reminded of, when was it? That would have been 2 years ago when Gardner Minshew was kind of making his debut. I think they won Thursday night, correct? If I'm not mistaken, against Tennessee. So, you do have a win here or there, but let's be honest. Usually the primetime games, I'm reminded of Derrick Henry stiff-arming people and having highlights and just never having a good product on the field. We now have a new regime. You have a new quarterback, and this is your only shot because, let's be honest, you're not going to be flexed to Sunday night anytime soon.
No.
So this is your only shot to go out in front of the world and say, who is Jacksonville? All right? What is this brand? What do you represent? What kind of football do you play? So it is an important game from that perspective as well. And you don't have any mustard-colored jerseys for excuses, right? You don't have any of these excuses
I remember
anymore.
the Andre Branch sack against Mariota to clinch a game in those mustard ones on Thursday night.
You don't have mustard-colored jerseys anymore, so that's not going to be a meme. No one's going to make fun of you for that. But this is your opportunity to show the world what you are. Because let's be honest, I'm not sure people tuned in the Texans-Jaguars game outside of Jacksonville and Houston. There's other games there. Not sure people tuned into the Jacksonville-Denver game outside of Denver and Jacksonville. Not sure people turned in. I mean, maybe more people for Kyler Murray and fantasy football and all that good stuff, but you're probably disappointed because, the Arizona offense wasn't firing on all cylinders. But you're the only show in town tomorrow night. This is your shot. This is your opportunity. And hopefully it's a good product that people can talk about, that there's storylines going forward that are in the positive.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's not just Trevor, too. It's Urban Meyer.
Oh, it's Urban Meyer for sure.
A lot of people question Urban Meyer, and now he gets to – what's he look like? This would be like, oh, my gosh, the floodgates will open on all the national shows Friday morning if Urban and the Jags look awful. This would be all on Urban, just like week 1, remember. And Trevor the same. I think you bring up a really good point about Minshew because it was that Thursday night game after Minshew – that the national guys started to get on him. In fact, a couple weeks later, it was the Uncle Rico and all this stuff, right? So people knew about Minshew. There was some character to Minshew already, kind of like they know about Trevor. Trevor's game's good. But it elevated it to a new level where all of a sudden everybody was doing these stories and, hey, we got to get Gardner Minshew. This guy's fun, And we're not talking about that. Trevor Lawrence has his endorsements. He's making plenty of money. He's a big name. But from a football standpoint, him and Urban Meyer especially have a lot to gain. The Jags don't really have a lot to lose. They already are considered and looked at in a negative way. Mm-hmm. But for those two guys, and especially Urban from a negative standpoint, I think there's so much to gain for those two guys. And with that, the organization. They come out and they look good against Cincinnati and surprise some people and win the football game. Well, that will go a long way about, hey, maybe the Jags have something down there. Let's keep an eye on them. Maybe not right now, but for down the road. And you know what? A little positive something about somebody saying about you, it's not bad. And I know, you know me, I don't buy into that as much, but I know the fans do. And the fans would appreciate that. They'd like that. It'd be nice for a night for the fan base of the Jags and the Jags not to be kind of the laughing stock, and the punching bag. So we'll see if they can get it done.
Brett, let me ask you this. And usually this goes hand in hand. So if one person comes out, more than likely the other person is going to come out. But in your opinion, who would you like to see come out better after this Thursday night game in terms of how we see them and in terms of the conversation going forward? The narrative of Urban Meyer or the narrative of Trevor Lawrence? Like, I'm saying if you tune in, Friday morning and all the national heads are talking, it's like, wow, I was surprised at blank of just, how impressive that person was. We're talking Urban Meyer. We're talking Trevor Lawrence. Who do you want to see more?
Well, I think I want to see Trevor. I think it's more important Trevor plays well. I mean, Urban is who he is.
Sure.
And there's not going to be, let's just say this, there's not going to be a ton of improving or regressing from Urban Meyer. It's either going to work or it's not the way he is. There could be regressing and improvement for Trevor Lawrence in the adaptation to the NFL game. So if he plays well and people are talking about him, that means he's taken another step. And this is about steps for Trevor. So I would say, yeah, I think Trevor. Now, the surprise, if you phrase it as surprise, it will be Urban. Because there's a lot of people that don't think he can succeed at this level because college coaches don't succeed at this level. And that could be the story of, hey, now maybe keep an eye down there. Urban might be able to get this thing done. They've improved every game. Didn't look pretty in week 1, but now look at it. He had him ready to go in a big game. Remember, he won a lot of big games in college, all that kind of stuff. Trevor, if he doesn't play that well, or if he does play well, it's not going to be a surprise if he plays well. He's a number 1 pick. I mean, everybody thinks this kid's pretty talented. I don't hear too many people saying he's not talented. So, but I think it goes a longer way for the organization. For me, I want to see constant getting better out of this young man. I actually think he played a pretty good game last week. I know the 4 turnovers sour that. But if you look inside that game, he did a lot of good things in that game. And so if we can see a step up from that and limit the turnovers, I'm waiting for the clean game from Trevor. And so for me personally, it's important to see that. I want to see a clean game from Trevor Lawrence. And Austin, here's the thing. The way to do it is something I tweeted out today. I had some time. I did a little research. The Brent Sports Bureau was on display. And here's what I tweeted. The Jags are tied for 3rd in the NFL in yards per carry at 5.1, yet they are tied for 3rd lowest carries in the NFL with 61. I said if last week becomes a trend, meaning they give the football more to their backs and they're more balanced, the Jaguars could be a top 5 rushing team by the end of the season. Make number 25 the focal point. And 25 is James Robinson. And this has been a theme of mine this week, coming off that game Sunday. I know everybody knows James Robinson's good. It was just Sunday just did something to validate the fact of our feelings that he is good. And that, hey, he's going to be good for a while. Like, this is no fluke guy that just had a really good year. This guy looks like he's taken another step if they'd give him the ball. He looks quicker to me. He looks leaner to me, his body and everything. And when you give him the ball, good things happen. So the best way to do this in Jacksonville is to make him the focal point. Give him the football until they stop it. Make it a little bit, Austin, like 2017. And what did they do in 2017? They made Leonard Fournette the focal point of the offense. People had to load the box, brings play action into play. Your receivers get a little more freed up, can make plays. I think the Jags have more talent on this team if they're able to do that. Trevor's a better quarterback than Bortles. The receiving core is probably better. Remember, Allen Robinson didn't play in 17. Tight end's probably a wash. The offensive line might be just as good, if not the same. And so they were the 6th best offense that year in 2017. I am not telling you they're going to go to the AFC Championship game. I'm just telling you from a run offense standpoint, I believe the Jaguars can be as efficient as they were in 2017 if they just give James Robinson the damn ball.
No, I'm with you. That's, I think, what a lot of people have been echoing definitely these past 2 weeks. But even after that Cardinals game, you felt like you're left wanting more of James Robinson. So I totally agree with you. It's going to be an interesting test against Cincinnati Bengals. And we always talk about that Bengals offense and their wide receivers and Joe Burrow and all of that. But the Bengals defense, you can't take them lightly. And in terms of team defense, in terms of stopping the run, they're 8th right now. They're 8th best in terms of stopping the run in the NFL. And keep in mind, they didn't play like in terms of slouches in terms of the run game. I mean, they played the Vikings, who have Dalvin Cook's pretty good running back. They played the Bears, and say what you want about that one. And they also played the Steelers, who have Najee Harris, who's, they've always kind of been a running team. And they're 8th right now in the NFL. So that's pretty impressive from their front four, whatever you want to say, in terms of stopping the run. So it's going to be a great test for Jacksonville, I think.
Yeah, you made me look it up now. And by the way, you said 8th. The Jags are 6th in the league, I think, against stopping the run yards per carry-wise. I don't know if that's the same stat. But Minnesota only ran for 67 yards in the first game with Dalvin Cook on 22 carries. That's like 3 yards a pop, of course. Against Chicago, the Chicago Bears ran for 123 yards on 34 carries. That's 3.6 yards. And we know Big Ben threw it a bunch last week. But let's see if they ran it all, and not really is the answer. Only rushed it 15 times. So they're averaging about 3 yards a carry on defense. So this is a tall task for the Jaguars' offensive line, but this would be a great way to showcase some dominance, too. If they can run the ball, you might simply say if they can run the ball, Austin, they win the football game. because nobody's been able to run against the Bengals. If they can run the ball and they give it to them enough, the Jags should be able to control the game.
So to set the scene a little bit, the Jaguars are pretty much right in the middle. I think they're 16th or 17th, according to this chart, in terms of rushing yards per game. They're giving up a 115.7 per game, which seems like it's pretty high, but I guess that's back in the Houston game a little bit.
What are they giving up per game?
115 yards per game.
Yeah, that's the 160 that they gave up.
Okay.
There. If you go yards per carry,
okay,
it's a little bit better. I think the stat is yards per carry is like 6th best in the league.
Okay. So, I mean, once again, they're in the middle of the league right now in terms of stopping the run, 115.7 per game. And Cincinnati right now, they're only giving up 78.3 yards per game in terms of running.
Yeah. So, the bottom line is the Jags have to find a way to still establish the run. And they got to keep people off Trevor. And they've got to allow play action. I saw Pro Football Focus maybe said it. Marvin Jones leads the NFL with receptions on play action. It's like 10 or 11 catches.
Okay.
So they're having success. They've got to create the success in the run game. And the bottom line is this. We can talk about Trevor Lawrence and making it better for him. Okay, everybody said that. In fact, this is an interesting game to go to that because Urban Meyer called Joe Burrow this summer and said, what can I do to make my quarterback better?
Yeah.
What can I make him easy for him? Run the ball, Joe said. Run the ball. Urban told that story to us in the preseason and to the national guys when they did the preseason game on that Monday night. And then the Jags came out and threw the football and hardly gave it to James Robinson through the first couple weeks. So they know what they have to do. But I almost am now getting to the point, Austin, where this isn't – sure, it should be a little bit about protecting Trevor and make him comfortable and allow him to ease into this NFL without putting too much on him. I believe in that. But I really think now this is like, hey, it's obvious. James Robinson is your best football player. Well, what do you do with your best player? You get him the ball at whatever position it is. Like you could make the case, maybe it's Jamar Chase is the best player for Cincy. Maybe it's Joe Burrow. Well, you give him the ball, you put it in his hands. I'm not ready to say Trevor Lawrence is the best player on offense for the Jags. I haven't seen enough out of him. He might be. He will be. Hopefully he is. But James Robinson right now, with what he's accomplished and what he does every time he gets the ball, is the best player for the Jacksonville Jaguars on the offensive side of the football. I don't even think it's debatable.
Yeah, I understand there's a lot that you have to get in for this season. Obviously, building Trevor Lawrence's confidence and making sure he's the future should be the top priority. But at the end of the day, this is still football. And at the end of the day, this is Urban Meyer in his first year. And you would think Urban Meyer wants to win more than anything. So it really comes down to wins and losses. And let's be honest, is Trevor going to be the future? He very well possibly could. He could be an all-pro for years to come. We don't know that quite yet, though. What we do know is that giving the ball to James Robinson gives you mathematically and analytically, whatever you want to say, put your science hat on, it gives you the best chance to win the ball game, right? Because you control the clock, and he's been the most dependable component of that offense now, it seems like, for the past 2 years. So, yeah, give him the ball. Give him the ball and see what the final score is going to be, but he gives you your best shot to win right now. And that's what the most important thing is, Brent. It's wins and losses.
Yeah, and by the way, then it allows Trevor to maybe do his thing.
Sure.
Again, it does put him in a good position, and now you can take advantage of some shots down the field. Listen, my theme over the first 3 weeks is guys got to play better around Trevor, and the offensive coordinator has to make it better for Trevor. I mean, that's it. I have very little blame to go on Trevor Lawrence 3 games in. I'm not saying he's been great. I've seen some mistakes, but I think I expected some mistakes. I mean, that's just reality. So, and if everybody else was doing everything around him, then I'd probably be a little bit more critical of Trevor. That just hasn't been the case. I mean, there's been too much breaking down around him, not enough plays made around him to really pit much of the blame at all on Trevor Lawrence through 3 games. Let's hope this is their most complete game offensively. The Jags run the football. They give it to James Robinson. They don't turn it over. They have a real chance to win the football game. I mean, you probably have a chance to win every football game if you do that.
Yeah.
The Jags have not shown the ability to do that, though, through 3 weeks. They are -8 in the turnover differential department, and that is how you lose football games. We'll be back, String Sports Brewery on ESPN 690. We're here until 6, and then Jaguars All Access, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. We talk more about the Jags. Coming up next, C.J. Henderson meets the media in Carolina. How did it go? We show you on the way on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690. Mostly clear skies. Nice temperatures tonight will drop into the 60s. It'll be partly to mostly sunny and a very warm Thursday. Tomorrow afternoon's high close to 90 degrees. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Now you can buy like a dealer buys. Save thousands on thousands of diamonds for a limited time at Beard's Diamonds.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Hey everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Meet Relevant, the new group messaging app that drives real-time, authentic conversations. You can now listen and live chat with us during our radio show directly on Relevant. It's a new fun way to interact with your favorite hosts and other listeners. It's easy. Just download the free Relevant app. That's RELEVNT. Simply search for the ESPN 690 community and join the chat. Listen in on the Relevant app for special polls, promotions, and giveaways. We'll see you there.
JTech is a local nonprofit private institution of higher learning focused on essential career training such as automotive, diesel, HVAC, marine and RV technology, and commercial truck driving. They are currently hiring technical education instructors for all their programs. If you have experience in those fields, they want to talk to you about using your knowledge and skills to teach and prepare the next generation of skilled tradesmen and women. Give them a holler to start the process. Their phone number is 904-328-5599. Again, that's 904-328-5599. You've got the skills. Now it's time to give back. Get involved, feel good about your deeds, and lead the future of skilled trades labor.
It's tough out on these streets, especially if you're buying a car. Prices are crazy, and a car loses 20% of its value when you drive it off the lot. Get in a wreck, and you're screwed. But not when you get your auto loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. All month, you get no-cost gap protection with a new or used vehicle loan. It'll save your butt in case of a wreck in the first year. Even better, our loan rates are crazy low. So get peace of mind with your Porsche. Get pre-approved at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Avian Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution.
I'm Dr. Brown. 98% of patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217. See results on your first visit guaranteed or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299. all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money, Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
First of all, why do you think Jacksonville moved on from you so fast?
I'm not sure of that. I'm just, excited for this new journey.
Well, that is C.J. Henderson, former Jacksonville Jaguar, traded on Monday. Now seems like a distant story with all the Lambeau stuff and everything else going on. C.J. Henderson introduced to the Carolina Panthers media today, and it was pretty lackluster. I mean, you almost have to watch it and see it. Certainly not excitable, and that's kind of what we've seen body language-wise. Austin Lane, I mean, this is a guy that the reports are might not even want to play ball. Mm-hmm. Again, we can be very stereotypical. You can be very judgmental, but oftentimes body language, does tell some of the story. This guy's body language has not been right. It just makes you wonder where his career is headed, and does even Carolina work out? Hopefully the change of scenery works out for him and gets him reinvigorated about the game if that's the problem. But, you watch that news conference and it's like, well, I don't see it,
Yeah, for sure. It's one thing, and I think a lot of players could attest to this. Maybe you have a position coach or even a head coach that maybe you just don't vibe with, right? You just don't gel with.
True.
And it makes your experience in the NFL, anything but a good one. So that can kind of set you behind the eight ball a little bit. And maybe that was the case with Doug Marrone and staff. Maybe that was the worst case scenario. But then it's very telling when a brand new regime with brand new coaches, brand new position coaches, you name it, and a lot of new players comes in, and things are obviously different now, right? I mean, it's probably night and day, I imagine, that locker room from when Doug Marrone was here to now when Urban Meyer's here. And it still seems like there was no fixing the C.J. Henderson situation, right? Like he almost had his mind made up that he didn't want to be in Jacksonville anymore. And whether he gave Urban Meyer and what he believed in a chance or not, we'll never know. Or at least someone's got to ask him that. But it's very telling when you go through two regimes, a change in leadership, a change in the locker room, and nothing seemed to work. And now you're in Carolina, and we'll see. I mean, it's hard to judge off of one press conference, but what we're judging you off of is, well, your attitude towards that press conference and what we know about you from the past, right? And I think that's fair. But we'll see how it pans out in Carolina. But I'm just saying it's very telling the fact that you had two opportunities, to be a player in Jacksonville and then to try to fall in love with the game. And for whatever reason, on both those opportunities, it just didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, it's a good call, too, about the coaches stuff. That's interesting. Now, Tim Walton and, Joe Dana are still left over. Those are two of the holdovers from the staff. But you're right. I mean, it's totally different feel, totally different regime. So, I don't know what's going to miss on the C.J. Henderson front. The thing that when you bring up the coaches, though, it reminds me, and we still don't know why, Telvin Smith exactly walked away, right? I mean, we don't really know the reasons.
Yeah.
Why he initially, we know what happened after,
yeah.
But we don't. But that wasn't why he walked away initially. I mean, he ended up getting himself into a mess. But I had heard from one of the reasons why was he didn't like the linebacker coach. I think it was Mark Collins at the time.
Yeah,
and he did not like him. But what I always said, when somebody told me, I was like, so that wouldn't make you walk away from football and $10 million? I mean, come on, I don't buy that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's hard to fathom. But speaking from experience, and I'm not going to throw anybody underneath the bus here.
Well, I was going to ask you
That's
this
not my
question.
job.
I was going to ask you.
But it's been dialogued, and if you've seen sideline footage, I've got into it one time with a position coach in Kansas City that we did not see eye to eye on things. And I'll be honest, I was not the biggest fan of him. And I was told some things that were supposed to happen in a preseason game when my job's on the line, and those things didn't come to fruition either. And then I spoke out to my agent saying, I'll be honest, I don't want to be here anymore because I don't like the situation that I'm in, and I don't like going to work every single day under this certain person. And my agent had that conversation with the GM, got back to the position coach, and the position coach chewed me out because I went behind his back and yada, yada. So it was a mess. I was in other circumstances where another position coach, I didn't vibe with him either. And to the point where I had a backup coach who was kind of like an intern say, hey, I know right now you're not a big fan of this guy, and I get that, and some of the things that you're concerned with are justified in terms of not getting your film played and not getting coached up the proper way and really just not really caring about you. I had that conversation with another position coach. So I've been there, and it's not fun. And this, and then this is, I'm going on a rant right now, but this goes back to the whole Josh Lambo thing, right? You remember when I said it's not fair? Like, it's a performance-based business. And either you perform or you don't, and it doesn't matter how hard you work, doesn't matter how nice of a guy you are, how much you do for the community. If you're not performing on the field, well, then so be it. Then you're gone. It doesn't work like that for coaching. And then that's my one frustration with the NFL in terms of how coaching and everything is treated. You've called it the good old boys network before. I just call it, it's about who you know. And if you think about it, you think about every quarterback in the NFL. If you're the 32nd best quarterback in the NFL, your job's not going to last that long as a starter. Would you agree with me, Brent? There's no way. They're going to go in a direction. If you're the 30 best kicker in the NFL, your job's probably not going to last too long. Well, somebody out there right now, as we're having this conversation, is the 32nd best position coach. And more than likely, and once again, he doesn't know it. The team may not know it, but there's some position coach out there that is probably not the best at his job, and he's the 32nd best in the league. But he will always get an opportunity because of the people that he knows and the circles that he travels with. And that's just the way it is. That's one of the things that I always found wrong with the NFL.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, too. It's a good point. I mean, listen, I get it. I mean, I would say you'd hate going to work every day if you didn't like the coach that you're working with every day. I mean, people do that with their bosses all the time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's work. That's life. That's kind of thing. The problem that I get is, like, first of all, few people usually, and this is why we have a hard time putting it around some players that aren't as interested, is people love to play the game of football. That's why they're there, right? I mean, not everybody you look at that is walking to their job tomorrow morning says, oh, I can't wait to get here. Now, some of us do, right?
Yeah.
Some of us do, but not everybody does, and that's reality. But in football, you're kind of like, man, that guy can't wait to go play on Sunday. That guy can't wait to go practice. I mean, he's around buddies. This is like, still feel like a kid, even though he's 28, 32, whatever it is. But that doesn't mean that some guys lose interest because of, I don't want to be around this guy. Now, what I always say about that is, I mean, at the end of the day, $10 million, $3 million, depending on what you're making.
Yeah.
That might speak a little bit louder and just suck it up.
Sure.
And you hope they get fired or you move on, right? Something like that. But it is a pretty wild thing. It's a great analogy you just made, too. I mean, and you are absolutely right. I think that NFL circle, that's kind of why I like the Urban Meyer thing. It wasn't just the NFL circle recycling itself,
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean it worked. There's a reason why it's like that, because it's worked a long time in the NFL. So that doesn't mean it works here, but it also doesn't mean it's right. So it's fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, and I echo this a lot, and the reason I echo it is because, well, it was passed down to me from coaches, position, head, assistant, coordinators alike. It's a performance-based business, and I agree with that. It absolutely is. But it's got to go both ways then. For the players, absolutely. For some of the position coaches, is it? Or is it about who you know?
Yeah.
I'll let people be the judge.
Yeah, and how do you judge it, right? I mean, like I said, I guess you just judge if your unit's not very good. But then here's what happens, because I know this, and this is what I've been kind of investigating for years, is the Jags have stunk, right, in the conversations. Every coach blames the GM and the personnel department, and every GM and the personnel department blame the coach.
Yeah.
Right? So if I'm a bad coach or my position's not playing well, I'm like, hey, man, I wish that guy would give me some players. And if I'm the GM and or the personnel department and I pick the players, like, I bet there are 10 coaches that make that guy into a Pro Bowler, and these guys can't do crap with him. You know? I mean, that's the way it works. They all sit there and point fingers. I've always said this. I always think it's very, as a macho, tough, really I should say tough more. It's a tough-nosed business that very few in the business, at least that I've talked to over the years, when things go wrong, want to take accountability for it. It's a wild thing. It seems like there's two people that usually take accountability, the head coach and the quarterback. And then if you go behind the scenes, there's all sorts of finger pointing going on.
Yeah.
You know, from players to coaches to you name it. So it's a wild thing, the NFL. I was just talking about that with somebody today, actually on the way. And how do you get out of the mud? That's my big thing. How do you get out of the mud? How do you flip it? Well, hopefully Trevor Lawrence and hopefully Urban Meyer can help flip it. Hey, each and every week on our Blitz Scoreboard show, and each and every week right here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, we do something called Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Baker Sports. And last Friday night, our Committed to the Uncommitted, this was really cool, is Ben Bogle from Nice High School. He's a linebacker. And, Austin, you'll love this story. Twofold.
Hit me with it. Let's go.
One, he was off people's radar, and a lot of these folks that were doing Committed to the Uncommitted are off the radar because of COVID. Well, that wasn't the case with Ben. Ben's a good football player, but he played nose tackle for the team last year because they needed help.
Okay.
And he's really a linebacker.
Dang.
And so
okay.
he was the MVP of their team as a nose tackle last year. He slimmed down, lost some of the weight, and now is playing his real position, which is linebacker, and lighten things up at Nice. But that's also slowed his recruiting down a little bit because he got back to and he was hurt his sophomore year. So Committed to the Uncommitted, we try to highlight kids that are overlooked. Well, there's another cool part of the story. Casey found it last Friday as we're doing this, like hours before we were about to acknowledge Ben Bogle from Nice. Well, he actually got his first offer, right, Casey, from Arkansas State. So, and you know what happens when the first offer comes, usually others follow, Austin.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, it's like an avalanche. The cool thing with that, though, and the kid's name's Ben, correct, you said?
Yeah, Ben Bogle, yeah.
Yeah, so the cool thing with that is, obviously, I mean, team first guy willing to, I'll be honest, to go from linebacker to nose tackle, not sure you could talk me into that one. But in terms of the mentality, like, I get it. You know, when coaches are recruiting, they got to see your 40 time. They got to see the film, all this stuff, right? It's all the intangibles, yada, yada, yada. But what you can't see on film or what you can't see at a combine is, well, how much does this guy care about the game, his teammates, and how much grit does he have? To go from linebacker to playing nose tackle, I'm not sure how much you weighed playing nose tackle. I assume he was undersized. So when you're undersized, you better make up for it with speed, tenacity, and get off, which I assume that he did. Well, then you got something there. You have the mindset. You have the heart. And that can get you a long way, especially in the college level. So it's cool he's starting to get some offers now. I'm sure he's going to get some more, but it's very telling of just who this dude is in order to do that. Very cool story.
Yeah, and you sounded like Colin Draft's head coach. He said all those things, you know, all those intangibles. Like there really isn't a doubt that he's going to go play in college. It's just very slow on the offer and where he's going to go play. And Ben Bogle's running now, and he is our Committed to the Uncommitted here this week. Brought to you by Baker Sports, homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport. Baker Sports has been doing that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas, screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports, get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports. We appreciate Bakers and also University of North Florida Ospreys for their support of our Blitz Scoreboard show. We'll have that coming for you in week 6 of the high school season on Friday night, 9 o'clock until 10:30, and then we hand right off to the TV side of our Friday night Blitz. Love talking about the high school football. We got ourselves an NFL game tomorrow night. Josh Lambo will not kick in it. We will talk about that. Also, want to let you know, if you're going to the Fall Home and Patio Show at the Prime Osborne Center, our friends from CGC Water will be there, so stop on by, say hello. We appreciate all the things that CGC does for my family, but also for our Action Sports Jax Dream 18 golf tournament last week, providing all the water. Look them up, CGC Water, and go say hello to them tomorrow at Prime Osborne for the Fall Home and Patio Show. We'll be back from String Sports Brewery right after this. ESPN 690, golf pick time, and also the latest on the Josh Lambo front. It's next.
The American Freedom Tour is coming to Jacksonville. I'm Dean Black, chairman of the Republican Party of Duval County, and it's time for Republicans to get motivated and defend freedom. 2 historic days, Friday and Saturday, October 8th and 9th. Come see Donald Trump Jr., Kayleigh McEnany, Dan Bongino, Dinesh D'Souza, and many, many more. Get your tickets now at DuvalGOP.com. I will see you there.
Mom, can I have some ice cream?
I've got a better idea. Who wants to help me make something fun and healthy instead?
Eating smarter is easy and delicious. Interested in receiving healthy recipes and a whole lot more in your email? Then register at healthiestweightfl.com and learn more about all the small steps that you can take on the way to living healthy. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
When you think about Jacksonville, you think about a city that is surrounded by water. And being by water afforded Jacksonville to have one of the largest container ports in the entire country. And another fun fact that RV sales are at an all-time high right now. But what does this all mean? What am I getting at? It means that there's high-paying jobs available for those that know the ins and outs of the marine side and of the land side of recreational vehicles. And this is where JTech comes into play. JTech offers a program where you can learn about the diagnostic procedures and effective repair methods of a variety of recreational vehicles, including motorhomes and RVs, power boats, jet skis, diesel and gasoline, outboard and inboards, and much more. And they also help prepare students to take the Yamaha certification exam, which is required in the Marine Maintenance Certification Program. To learn more about JTech, visit jtech.org or call them at 904-483-9460. Ask for Hank to set up an appointment to tour the campus or get your questions answered. That's 904-483-9460 or visit jtech.org.
Okay, I get it. So the summer season's almost over, but that's why we live in Florida. And that's why our friends at Arlington are doing fall Florida style with hot temps and even hotter deals. Get to Arlington Toyota today because they have 400 new Toyotas available with interest rates as low as 0% on over 10 new Toyota models. Plus, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And every new car purchase gets a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Shop ArlingtonToyota.com today. Visit ArlingtonToyota.com/September for full details.
Hey, boss, I found some silverware in the dining room.
Nice. So you're sure you smashed the alarm system when we got here, right?
You mean that plug-and-play do-it-yourselfer? Yeah, it's dead. We got all the time we need.
Oh, look at this. The box the alarm system came in. Isn't this cute?
An alarm system in a box. Boss, I'll never understand why people don't just get a Safe Touch security system.
And they probably think they're saving money.
But that's the thing, they're not saving money.
You and I know that. Thankfully, these folks didn't. You know, there are a lot of great things that come from a box. This isn't one of them.
True.
Hey, let's just take a minute to appreciate that tonight, we don't have to worry about the Crooks or Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. And remember, kids, boxes and alarm systems don't mix.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
We hope it never happens to you, but sometimes you need medical and legal help after an accident. You may be scared and confused, but here's what you can do. Call 1-800-ASK-GARY, a free 24/7 auto accident and injury helpline. The attorneys we work with will fight hard to get the most for our clients, and they're ready to help you too. So call 1-800-ASK-GARY and get the medical and legal help you deserve. Just call 1-800-ASK-GARY.
24/7 is free. Call 1-800-ASK-GARY.
1-800-ASK-GARY is a free 24/7 auto accident helpline. Ask Gary is a qualified provider of legal referrals and markets for Physicians Group LLC.
Small businesses continue to face many challenges resulting from the prolonged pandemic. Business owners are working hard to maintain customers, adjust operations, and retain key personnel. At SCORE, our highly trained counselors are here to offer their assistance. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually. In addition to ongoing mentoring, we are conducting webinars on topics that can provide timely advice. Visit jacksonville.score.org today for links with more information.
If you're like me, you come home from work and walk through a messy garage hurdling shoes and bats and bikes. Well, get the Easy Garage solution that I got. It's called Easy Garage Solutions. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that will last a lifetime. Hang the bikes and the lawn equipment. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. Easy Garage Solutions. Cabinets and flooring available too. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
I think this is unfinished business. I think this is one of those first one-in wins. I think we needed to win this one, and then I think it was a massive stepping stone for this team and the group that we have here that have really known each other since almost back to grade school to continue to try and work hard to be on these teams to go over there, because it's one thing to win it here, and it is a lot easier to do so, and it is harder to win it over there. And if we play like we did this week, the score will look the same over there in a couple years, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, a little intoxication soundbite right there from Jordan Spieth. And that was okay. I mean, mildly intoxicated, probably. I love how they do the team pressers after they've,
smart.
Just gone nuts with champagne for like an hour, you know?
For sure.
Austin's favorite time of the show, golf picks on the way. Before we get to that part, though,
okay,
I feel like we made it to Wednesday, and we had so much going on with C.J. Henderson, the Jags, and now Josh Lambo. We're going to get to Josh Lambo a little bit more before we end the show. How good was the MMA UFC fight the other night? I mean, remember, it was part of that big sports weekend. But some people were saying that was like one of the best fights in years, right?
Fight of the year for sure. Our friend of the show. I love saying that because they call it one time and now they're friends of the show. That's what
absolutely.
I say.
Hey,
That's
you're
what
good
I'm
at
doing.
this radio thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. So our great friend of the show, Alexander Volkanovski, took on Brian Ortega. For the title. And it was arguably the greatest fight of the year for sure. Alexander Volkanovski is just a jack of all trades. He's good at everywhere. Brian Ortega improved his striking a lot, but his MO is grappling, especially jiu-jitsu. Probably one of the greatest jiu-jitsu technicians right now in the UFC. Volkanovski got put in 2 submissions later on in the fight that, in my opinion, nobody else gets out of.
Yeah, I saw that.
But somehow... And I have no idea how he did it, because if that would have been me, I'm tapping till the cows come home. I'm tapping until my arm gives out. Somehow he fought off both submissions. It was a guillotine and it was a triangle. He fought out both of them and he ended up winning the fight. And it's unreal, the heart and the perseverance that guy showed to get out of those submissions and really have a dominating performance.
Yeah, that's. I heard it was good stuff.
And in other news, real quick too, because sometimes we talk about boxing on the show. And Brent, you remember when I said Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua is going to be the biggest fight ever, right?
Yes.
Well, did you see what happened to Anthony Joshua?
I did. Was that like? It's hard to say because Joshua's not like Tyson big.
Yeah.
But did that have like a Buster Douglas Tyson feel, or was it not that big of an?
I'm not sure what the odds were of that fight. Usyk coming in, he was undefeated himself, so a great guy. But if you go back to, I'm looking it up right now, Anthony Joshua was minus 300, while Usyk was 225 coming back right before that fight. So pretty good odds on Joshua of winning
Buster
that.
Douglas, Tyson.
But it's not Buster Douglas, no. But obviously, Anthony Joshua wins that one. Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder, and that was going to be the heavyweight fight of all heavyweight fights in England. And now you can't do it anymore because Anthony Joshua lost all his belts.
Yeah, so that was a badly timed loss, right?
Yeah, horrible loss.
Will we never get it?
I don't know. I'll be honest. England may never get it. And when I say, I get over here, Anthony Joshua, not a household name. Tyson Fury, I think, is starting to get there. But over there in England, 2 English fighters, one who grew up, essentially as a gypsy, and one who is like this clean-cut guy in Anthony Joshua, a contrast of styles, a contrast of trash talk. It would have been the perfect fight for English fans. And now you may never know because, you got greedy and you try to wait as long as possible.
All right. Golf pick time, Casey. Let's go.
Okay, so we're at the Sanderson Farms.
Well, hang on. We're coming from the Ryder Cup. Who won that one?
I
know that?
I kind of thought Brent was going to lead there, but he didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Let's dive into
it. A good thing I forgot or a bad thing I forgot?
It's probably a good thing. Austin Lane, the winner.
Get out of here. How did he win?
Go. The haters were doubting me. Oh, Austin. Oh, Butcher. Now you got to pick 2 golfers? 2 golfers to bring it home? There's no way the Butcher gets it done. But what does the Butcher do? The Butcher always delivers. 2-for-1 special, baby. In the win column once again. I can't be stopped.
I was finishing second, I'm assuming?
Yes.
How close were we?
So Austin had Cantlay with 3.5.
Sure did.
And Lowry with 1.
Boom.
Which is 4.5.
Yeah, Lowry was a difference.
And then you had Xander with 3, and I believe you had Paul Casey with 0.
Dude's falling down hills.
Casey had a half.
Oh, wait a second.
But I don't think that would make a difference, right?
I'm looking at it. He got 0.
You sure he didn't split on that last day in the individual match?
I'm seeing 0 for 4 on RyderCup.com.
Huh. All right.
Brent trying to cheat too now and stuff.
Who did Morikawa tie at the end to get the half point? Thought it might have been Casey. We'll double check, but I'm sure Austin won. All right, let's do this.
There it is.
What we got? That's Sanderson Farms.
Yep, Sanderson Farms.
By the way, which I thought was the made-up name. When you said Sanderson Farms, I thought you were kidding.
No.
Real name. Okay. Take it away, Casey. Sorry.
There's not much takeaway. I'm taking Corey Connors.
Corey Connors. Okay.
I looked at Corey Connors. I'm taking Will Zalatoris.
Okay. So here's the thing about Sanderson Farms. I looked them up real quick, Brent. Sanderson Farms is a chicken farm. And at Sanderson Farms, they believe in raising their chickens humanely to ensure their safety, nutrition, and overall health. They care deeply about the well-being of the chickens that they raise. It's a fun fact for you about Sanderson Farms. So now I got chicken on the brain, okay? Now, the butcher specializes in steak and pork, doesn't specialize in chicken. But the butcher can make an exception for these Sanderson Farms picks. So when I think of chicken, well, I think of, for some reason, grilled chicken. When I think of grilled chicken, I think of strength coaches because they're always eating it. But to be more specific, I think of assistant coaches that are strength guys because usually the main strength coach is like eating steak or he's having some ice cream. Like, you know, he's about it, but he's not really about it anymore because, well, he's probably a little up there in age. So I think of an assistant strength coach. So I went through the field. I found the guy that looks the most like an assistant strength coach on a football team, college or professional, and I landed on
golf.
And I landed, and it was hard. I'll be honest, not easy. A lot of just a lot of small necks and small shoulders out there. So it's really hard to go off of. But this one guy, beaming confidence, he's got that coach's hairstyle that you look for, a little facial hair, and I can see this guy getting after somebody in the squat rack saying, we got to get 5 more. So I'm going to go with Sam Ryder. Sam Ryder is going to perform well at the Sanderson Farms Open Final.
Maybe he doesn't.
Wait,
Sam Ryder.
He's a Jacksonville guy?
Nah, maybe he does. Maybe he's not. I forget. We have so many guys that he's not
I feel like you say everybody's a Jacksonville guy.
Well, there's so many that live around here. I feel like Sam Ryder, but he might not. He might not be. I might be mistaken.
All right.
All right. Let's see how we do in the Sanderson Farms. Austin leads the way. Was that the first one, Casey, last week?
Oh, certainly not.
No, certainly not.
Certainly
so
not.
I added the Ryder Cup points to the FedEx Cup points that we have. Austin has 22. Brent, you have 6. I have 3.
Nobody said I had to be close. Nobody said. I'm sure that the UPS rankings are even worse for you guys. Oh, nobody said I had to be close.
It's
sharpening
it's
these
a
knives,
long
man.
season.
Sharpening these knives, man.
It's a long season.
I'm telling you.
Hey, for the butcher and
bet.
Brent and Casey as well. Hey, go get your phone, man.
I'll go get it in a second. I gotta do some stuff first.
We appreciate the phone finder.
Thank you very
She
much.
Was
that
awesome.
was really cool.
That was terrific.
That was
the
awesome.
best. If you didn't get to hear the story, go back and listen. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. You can subscribe on the podcast. By the way, Brent buys a beer from Strings each and every week. Moose better take up on his. He's right behind me. He's drinking his tonight.
Right
All
on.
right? And we got Duval Doom and Gigantor Jacks, and I just bought one for Logan Bowles.
I like it.
Maybe he'll take a picture of it.
Oh, you beat me to it, Brent. Oh, nicely done.
Jaguars All Access tonight, 7 o'clock, or on Fox 30, or come on out to Strings, and then we'll be in Cincinnati tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.